very much for giving us a little bit of your time. It's time for sports. It's time for action. It's time for the Ghana Premier League. This afternoon, we are bringing you our continuing coverage of the many games dotted around the various centers. Today, our concentration will be here in Accra. It is Accra Hearts of Oak who play as hosts to Berekum Chelsea, who have traveled all the way from Berekum in the Bono and the Ahafo region. Once again, you are very, very welcome. Today, we are taking a look at how Accra Hearts of Oak will try to bounce back to winning ways, or not to say bounce back, but to continue the winning ways after their surgeon into Kumasi, where they battled the Porcupine Warriors in the last match week just gone by. Berekum Chelsea have not been very good travelers this season, but they are coming to Accra with a mission and a purpose. There will be a lot of reconciliation between the two sides. Familiar faces will be seeing each other for the first time after the season began. And we're hoping that at the end of 90 minutes, the better side will win. For fans of Accra Hearts of Oak, they believe strongly that the continuation, the celebration continues here in Accra after the mammoth celebration in the Garden City of Kumasi. Once again, you are welcome to this program. Quickly, let me introduce the gentleman who will be doing most of the analysis for us today. On the far side is Nonaya Otechi Anderson, as usual, one of the known faces here in-house at Max TV Sports. Thank you very much, NY, for your time. And then, of course, we also have another usual suspect in the house. And I keep telling you that when we put faces on the TV, it is not because they are handsome, but it is because they get the job done. So Felix Romar will also be supporting us with a lot of his brilliance and knowledge in the game. Once again, gentlemen, you are very welcome to the studios.
Thank you.
Match week 23. We had a good time last week, and it was simply because it was one of the biggest matches, if not the biggest match when it comes to the Ghana Premier League. Accra Hearts of Oak traveling all the way to the Garden City to take on Kumasi Asante Kotoko. We'll be sparing just a few minutes to talk about that, but let's bring you up to speed with matches for match week 23. What are the pairings? What do they look like? Who's playing home? Who is playing away? What are the permutations? Let's take a look at the pairings. We will also take a look at the league table so we can juxtapose whatever findings or thoughts we have per the matches and their significance on the league table. So today, we're starting with the game Accra Hearts of Oak against Berekum Chelsea. But on Friday, it was Vision FC who stayed on Saturday, it was Vision FC who stayed at home, and they beat Berekum United by 3-2. Augustine Okra managed to get a brace, and by so doing, he's zoomed straight to the top of the goal scorers chart. Of course, he shares that position with one other player. But Vision FC 3, Berekum United 2. That was the final result from the Niaje Kraku, the second park in Tema Newtown. Then let's zoom into today, where Accra Hearts of Oak have a date with Berekum Chelsea. Heart of Lions return to Pando. They take on Bibiani Gold Stars, and that would be a very tough encounter. Aduana FC will face Hohoe United. Hohoe are traveling away to see whether they can pick up 3 golden undiluted away points if they can. Karela United and 11 Wonders will sort things out in Tamale. FC Samatex return to our boy. Their guest is Mediama Sporting Club. Mediama seem to be pushing keenly towards the end of the season, still at the top of the table. Let's see whether they can go all the way through. Baseke Holy Stars, it's not been a very, very good season for them. They return home. They take on Swidru All Blacks. Young Apostles, another of those teams who seem to be dilly-dallying in the league. They have the opportunity to put smiles on their faces at home when they face Asante Kotoko. Don't forget, Asante Kotoko go into this game after that painful loss to Accra Hearts of Oak. Nations FC, Abrankese has always been their fortress. Dreams FC say they are going to dare their might there. Again, we will pay attention closely to how this game will pan through for 90 minutes. So these are the fixtures coming your way for match week 23. Strong fixtures, and you need to be very careful in order to either maintain your position on the league table or go higher. We'll take a look at the points and you understand why we're saying that. You win, you go up. You lose, you go down the drain. So Mediama lead on 44 points, but they are being hotly pursued by Bibiani Gold Stars and Hearts of Oak. They have 39 points apiece. And so both Bibiani Gold Stars and Hearts are looking for victories. Bibiani Gold Stars are away and Hearts of Oak are at home. Then on the fourth position is Adriana Football Club on 37 points. Asante Kotoko follow closely on 35. They are hotly chased by FC Samatex, who also have 35 points. So again, results from these encounters will tell a lot. Karela United on 31, they occupy the 7th position. Then on the 8th position is Heart of Lions, who are also being monitored closely by Vision FC on the 9th position, who also have the identical 30-point number. And so the top of the table looks very, very cagey and very dicey. Now, if that is the story at the top, let's take a look at the story at the bottom. 10th position is Berekum United, painful loss yesterday, and so they remain on the 10th position on 29 points. Swedru All Blacks and Nations FC follow closely on 27 points in the 11th and the 12th position, which means that Dreams FC, Berekum Chelsea, and Baseke Holy Stars, who all have 26 points, must battle for victory after 90 minutes in today's game. It won't be easy for Young Apostles. Don't forget, they play Kumasi Asante Kotoko. And so if they are able to pick up the 3 points, what good it will be for Baseke, for Young Apostles, I should say. Now, Hohoi United on 23. Their case is very, very dicey and very difficult. One of the debutants in the league this season, they have not seen the light of day, although they started quite well when the season began. And of course, everybody's been beating 11 wonders and everybody's been wondering why. Well, the season has not gone too well for them. They occupy the bottom of the table with 9 points. And so far, the only team that has not scored double figures when it comes to the points build-up. Okay, so now with the fixtures, the league table made clearly known to you, as we get into the discussion, you will clearly understand what my panelists will be explaining to you. But first, let's recap what happened at the Garden City of Baba Yara Stadium when Accra Hearts of Oak made a trek to Kumasi as guests, to play as guests of Kumasi Asante Kotoko. It was a keenly contested fixture. Everybody looks forward to Hearts and Kotoko. Standards may have dropped quite a bit, but not when it comes to both Hearts and Kotoko. Form guide, other things put aside, there is always a massive crowd at the stadium to witness the game. And so, gentlemen, let's get into action quickly. I'll start with Felix. And again, the expectations were in this game. Let's see these two sides who are all struggling. They've not had a fairly good season so far. But going into this game, again, clearly, you couldn't stand out to say that Hearts will win or Kotoko will win, could you?
Of course, if you have to go into recent fixtures between the two, Kotoko had the upper hand.
On top.
Sure. I think the only win in the last 5 for Hearts of Oak was when they won in the top 4 at the Legon Sports Complex. So coming into this game, they were actually the underdogs, though they were the best performing side in the league because they were coming up against a Kotoko team who they've struggled to beat in recent time. But I must say this, I don't remember the last time I saw such an impressive attendance at the Barbara Sports Stadium involving the two teams, because in recent times attendance haven't been that impressive. And kudos to our ministers who were involved, the Greater Accra Regional Minister, the Ashanti Regional, Regional Minister, and also some supporters of the club who bought tickets to get supporters into the game. And I must say that we've had a lot of controversies coming into our games about officiating and all that, but one of the finest on the continent, referee Daniel Nilai, really had a very good game. And then again, the goalkeeper Kamara should be blamed for this particular goal. I think his movement was very, very awful. He should have done better. His timing was wrong. But I don't want to take anything away from Adamu. that was a very perfect spin of an header to get the ball past Mohamed Kamara. And I was surprised a lot of the Kotoko fans were not happy, you know, with him conceding that goal. And if you look at the performance of Hearts of Oak, especially in away matches, whenever they score first, it is always difficult for you to go at them and get a win. And you are coming up against a club that have conceded 7 goals in 21 matches prior to this game. That tells you how good they've been defensively. And I must say, this has were the better team. Even when they were a man down and a goal up, they were still very, very good. The expression with the ball was solid. The leadership and then the goalkeeping by Benjamin Asari was also very superb. A very good decision by referee Lai to show, Amankwa the second yellow card. He had no reason to complain. And I think that you've seen moments in games and even in huge derby games like this where coaches normally rush into making changes just because they are a man down. But you look at what Didi Dramani did. He had to calm down, didn't change the shape a lot. It's just that Martin Kakari had to double as a left back to complement the man down. And they did that. Kotoko didn't really create a lot, even with the man advantage. I think that for Kotoko, for us, I should say, everything worked perfectly for them.
Anyway, let's take a look at the game in closeness, in perspective. And of course, a couple of chances were created by both sides. I agree with Felix that you can't say the same for Kotoko, even though they had the numerical advantage. Let's take a look at those components. And of course, also bear in mind, and again, to follow up from Felix's point, Coach Didi Dramani had the opportunity to make the changes, but he didn't make those changes immediately. You know, he took his time, still read the game, and realized that if we put A plus B together, we should probably get a C. And so he went ahead, he did that. A lot of connoisseurs of the game believe that, one, Kotoko didn't come to the party. They also believe that, two, Kotoko should not have conceded that goal, because if the goalkeeper was quick enough and good enough, if I may add that, he would have stood on the lines and would have prevented the goal from coming.
You see, so you look at Coach Didi Dramani for Accra Hearts of Oak, and you look at what he's doing with Accra Hearts of Oak. They boast of the team with the fewer goals conceded. The 7 goals.
Strong defense.
And very strong defense there. And you look at the way their goalkeeper, Benjamin Asare, conducts the back. That is one thing a lot of people don't see, or a lot of people don't take note of. He has a way of conducting the back system that it becomes difficult for opponents to even have a chance, or even shoot, or even create chances to even worry their defense. So you look at all these, and you look at the tactical aspect of Coach Didi Dramani. He is a coach that if he scores you as the opponent, it becomes very difficult to equalize. You can do whatever you want. It's going to be very difficult. If Coach Didi Dramani scores you, it's going to be difficult to equalize. And he has done this for Accra Hearts of Oak in a way that when we were getting into this match, people thought at the Babaya Stadium, then it's going to be a done deal, or it's going to be a good one for Asante Kotoko. But you see, when you come to the Super Clash, we don't use form. You can have 100% form getting into this clash, and you meet Accra Hearts of Oak, and Accra Hearts of Oak will score you.
Exactly.
That is how it is. Let's go back. The first leg, Accra Hearts of Oak were at home at Accra Sports Stadium, and Asante Kotoko came there to beat them. And that game too, they scored only 1. And I remember Morifin Donzo, that penalty. We come to the second leg. Accra Hearts of Oak come to Kumasi, and they also beat Asante Kotoko 1. So you look at all this.
It could have been 2 if this chance was,
of course,
taken advantage of.
You see, this is where I look at 2 different goalkeepers. We have Kamara for Asante Kotoko, who when it comes to 1v1v situations, he comes out, makes the angle very difficult for attacker to penetrate or even get a goal. But you see, when it comes to mapping up a strategy with his defensive duties, I mean the defenders, so that it becomes difficult for the attackers to shoot or create chances. That is where he falls short. But when you go to Accra Hearts of Oak, Benjamin Asare, he has a way of commanding the defense. It becomes very difficult
Yeah.
for opponents to get or penetrate.
Yeah.
So you see, I watch all these things and I'm like, the goal that Kamara conceded is avoidable.
True.
A goalkeeper, your opponent have a free kick, and you need to map up a strategy, draw the line of defense that such balls, it's your defenders that will rush with the attackers so that they don't get away.
All right.
To get into the 18-yard box.
Yeah.
If you are unable to do that, then some of these faulty things will get into your post.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
for me, unfortunately for
Yeah.
them. So me, I feel like, it was the determination of Accra Heart of Oak. They know that they need to get there and do something because they will not sit for this season as Asante Kotoko did a double
and they did
over
just
them.
that.
And they just did that.
And they
So
did that.
For me,
so now they've climbed to the third position.
Yeah, and it's good
Realistically,
for them.
do they still have a chance?
They still have a chance.
They
They still
do.
have a chance, yes.
They got some tough matches coming up.
Of course, so are the other teams too. They have tough matches.
Okay.
So
Hearts
they just have to. They have
Hearts have 39 points now, and then Mediama have 44. So obviously, they're looking at what a 5 point difference. But
they're close enough.
You believe that
they are close
there's
enough.
still a realistic
You
chance.
see, on the match week 22, Mediama hosted Ediana.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that if Mediama win over Ediana, then that means the points.
Then they open up.
Yes.
That would have been an unassailable lead.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
But now they deal with Ediana.
Okay.
So there is chance.
Okay. Let's look at the rest of the games, coming up, and so we can factor or visualize exactly what we are looking at. Now, for the top 4 fixtures, Felix, walk us through this. I mean, Hearts of Oak in 3rd position, 2nd position, I see Hearts of Oak in there. 1st position, I see Mediama in there. You've got Goldfields, and then you've got Adriana. So let's take a look. My colleague NY believes that Hearts still have a chance. Hearts have Berekum Chelsea at home. Then they travel away to Bibiani. Then they have a date with Baseke Holy Stars. They come, Baseke Holy Stars, the game is at home. And then they go away to Bando to face Heart of Lions. And then they come back home to take on Swedru or Blacks. These are the remainder of the fixtures for Accra Hearts of Oak. Now, if they want to lay claim, they also need to be mindful of matches coming up for Mediama Sporting Club, Samatex away, Swedru All Blacks away, Hohoi United at home, Dreams FC away, and then 11 Wonders at home, which means that for Mediama, they would have to travel away 3 times in the last 5 games. I mean, per these permutations, what will be the realistic opportunities?
Okay, so Prince.
Yeah.
If you look at the Ghana Premier League after normalization,
Yeah.
the magic number for you to win the league stands between 61 to 67 points.
Okay.
Hearts of Oak won it with 61 points after normalization. Kotoko came back,
yeah.
won it with 67 points.
Yeah.
Mediama won it with 60 points. Samatex won it with 61 points. And then we had Gold Stars winning it with 63 points. So whoever gets into that 61, 63 column gets the opportunity to win it. And if you look at what is being displayed,
Yeah.
Mediama has 44 points. If they should wrap up 20 points in their remaining games, there's a likelihood that they would be able to win the league. But the matches that are lined up are not easy matches. Because if you look at, for Mediama, they get to place, they are playing Samatex today in that list.
Yes.
They even have to come to Accra and play Accra Hearts of Oak. But the remaining matches that are left, Mediama gets to play a lot of those matches at home. After today's match with 23. So that means we have about 11 more matches to go. And that is 33 points. They need to pick at least 20 out of the 33. So if
put them in contention.
out of the 11 matches, if they have 6 of those matches at home, that is 18 points. So among the top 4 teams, they are the favorite because they are playing remaining matches at home. And at home, it is a fortress for them. You understand? Even this is the first 5. But look at the teams that they are playing against. For 11 Wonders, they are really relegated.
Yeah, they're gone.
So that point
they're gone.
is a wrap for them. For Hoho United as well, it is going to be a done deal. So I look at Midiama. There are 2 games against Hoho United and 11 Wonders. It's a 6 points for them. And which other teams that are coming up? Swedro Blacks, Dreams FC. These are games that I don't see Midiama losing all 2. Among the 2 venues, at the Tuba and then the Swedro Park, the Tuba Astrotef is a very difficult venue to go. So I'm expecting Midiama to pick at least 7 points from the 15 that is available. It will be difficult, but should they pick a result in that Western Derby against Samates, that would be a huge statement
that would be a huge
on them. So among the 3, I think that they have a very favorable run to the title. But we've seen in recent times that the favorite don't always win football matches.
They don't.
And the Ghana Premier League at this point is a very, very difficult game.
Yeah.
I wish I could go into Hearts of Folk fixtures as well, but it is not easy. They are playing against the defending champions after Chelsea's game. They play at home to Basake Holy Stars. But if you look at Hearts of Folk, they've actually struggled at home.
Playing at home.
Against teams that you expect them to run
It will
over.
be tough.
Exactly.
Today they played Berekum Chelsea. But Hearts of Folk haven't won in their last 2 home games.
Sure.
They drew against Dreams FC, they drew against Berekum United. These are teams that you expect them to win. But look at teams that they've beaten at the Legon Sports Stadium. They've beaten Vision, they've beaten Art of Lions, they've beaten Samatex at the Legon Sports Stadium. The only thing positive for them is the fact that they are yet to concede at Legon since they decided to move from the Accra Sports Stadium. But they are in a very comfortable position. They are still in the title race. And if they continue like that, they should be able to at least push Midiama to the title charge. But like I've been saying, any team that gets to finish above Midiama would be league champion. So they should be the target because they
definitely should be the target because they are on top, which is 1. Number 2, they've won it before, and so they know what it takes to really go down the wire, to ensure that they get maximum points from the remainder of the matches that they will be playing. But Accra Hearts of Folk, my panelists said, it's not a done deal yet. It's not lost. They still believe that they can push and push and push. So one of the options for Accra Hearts of Folk is to push today against Berekum Chelsea. Accra Hearts of Folk have not done very well when they are playing at home. And I take a look at the home matches that all the teams have played out of the 16, or out of the 18 teams. Accra Hearts of Folk lie last but 1. They've only managed to win 10, which is not good. They played 10, and they've let in quite a number of goals as well. But let's take a look at their last 5 fixtures. So it was a 0-1 win for Hearts. They drew goalless against Bichim. They managed to pick up 3 points against 11 Wonders. Drew goalless against Dreams. And they beat Hohoi by 1-0. The last 5 fixtures, you'd say, has been fairly balanced. At least they haven't recorded a loss. And out of the 5 matches, they won 3 and drew just 2.
Yes, and the most impressive is the fact that they are a very difficult team to score against.
Yes, it's very difficult.
Adamu,
the defense
Ali,
has been solid.
Befi, Adamu, Ali Mohammed, Kevin Osesi, and then that brick wall imposed Ghana's number 1, Benjamin Asari.
Of course.
And I'm very, very happy because, Prince, gone were the days where Hearts of Folk, one of the major problems they had was goalkeeping. Yes. You don't know if it is Richmond Ayi will be imposed, if it is Eric Oforienchi who will be imposed for Chelsea today, or Richie Data. So Hearts of Folk had the major problem in goal post. And it was quite surprising because if you look at the success of Hearts of Folk, Bendida, James Nano, Sami Bamakweje,
they've had some serious
quality goalkeepers. So at the point you ask yourself, why is Hearts of Folk struggling? But now you look at Hearts of Folk, Benjamin Asari can even sit on the bench, and then Solomon Agbeshi comes in
get the job
and they have a fantastic goalkeeper at the back. So defensively, I'm not surprised that they've only conceded 7 goals. But what is more unique is the fact that out of the 22 games that they've played, they have not conceded in 17. That is quite impressive. I'm sure if it is an European team, we'll be singing their praises and all that. But for a team to, because in Europe, Chelsea play an entire season conceding 15. Hearts of Oak can do that in 34 games
comfortably
because we have 11 matches to go and they've conceded 7.
Yeah. All right. Well, for Accra Hearts of Oak, it looks like everything is pointing to a one-way traffic for them. And it's ironic that we're talking about Accra Hearts of Oak and the era of goalkeeping goalkeepers because, I mean, today they can boast of the top 2, if I'm not mistaken, And back in the day, they also had some rich goalkeepers in the likes of Ibn Dida, Sami Bamako, we had James Nano. And right behind us at Max TV Studios used to be one of the best goalkeepers Accra Hearts of Oak had once upon a time. He goes by the name Dan Tetevi, for those of you who remember that name. Anyway, let's cross carpet and take a look at Berekum Chelsea NY. Yeah. And Berekum Chelsea have just lost 1 match in their last 5 games. A painful 2-0 disadvantage, I should say, over Baseke Holy Stars. But they managed to pick up points at the expense of Heart of Lions and Bibiani Gold Stars. They could not beat the might of Swedru and Asante Kotoko. So how strong are they coming into this game?
When you look at Berekum Chelsea last 5 fixtures, and you see that per what we are seeing here, you say is a bit balanced because the only game that they lost was they went away to Baseke Holy Stars, which they lost. But you take a look at Heart of Lions, they were able to win. Bibiani Gold Stars, they won. They went to Asante Kotoko, they played goalless draw, and they drew with Swedru All Blacks. But when you look at in terms of Berekum Chelsea, their away fixtures has been poor. Berekum Chelsea, where they find themselves on the league log, it's even a worry because the Berekum Chelsea we know by now they should be somewhere in the mid-table that they will be looking at, not even worrying about going to relegation or something like that. But today, Berekum Chelsea find themselves lying in a place that is not looking good for them.
Yeah. Today, just above the relegation
zone, and it's not looking good for them. When you look at them today coming to face up again Accra Hearts of Oak, that they are going to pick that momentum they had against their bitter rivals Asante Kotoko, I'm just looking at how they are going to manage to even cause an upset against Accra Hearts of Oak. Because look, their coach Samuel Bwedu, ever since he has faced Accra Hearts of Oak, Berekum Chelsea have found it difficult to beat Accra Hearts of Oak. Very, very difficult. What I have here is losing to Accra Hearts of Oak 3-0, losing to Accra Hearts of Oak 3-1, losing to Accra Hearts of Oak 1-0, losing to Accra Hearts of Oak 2-0, and all that. You see, the only match that they were able to pick a point was the 2023-2024.
Yes.
That Accra Hearts of Oak hosted them and they played 1-1.
Battled to a 1-1 draw,
For that fixture, this is where I'm a bit worried for Accra Hearts of Oak.
Why? I'm
just not expecting that complacency set in because we have seen it before.
Is it especially after beating Kotoko?
Mr. Prince, you know that Accra Hearts of Oak, sometimes they can do certain things and you don't even understand them. The last time we sat here, they were playing with Berekum United.
Yeah.
They won a game before they were coming to play with Berekum United. And we're all here and saying Accra Hearts of Oak need to take that momentum and take it into this game and play with Berekum United and get a 3 points so that you can do what? Close the gap. At the end of the game, it was goalless draw. You see, so this is something I keep stressing on.
Like Mr. Romack would say, it doesn't always favor the favorites.
That's of course. So if they want to be in the title race, this game is also important.
Okay.
Because you don't know what will happen when Mediama plays with Samatex. It's a very, very difficult game for Mediama going to play with Samatex because Samatex to also do everything possible to also see if they can also get a point or even 3 points over the league leaders. And if that happens, and if Accra Hearts of Oak, you do your work well with Berekum Chelsea, then the gap gets closed up. So for me, it starts now. Yes, you beat Asante Kotoko at Kumasi, but this game is also important. If
they
you
are
want to be in the title race,
they are a boogie side, Berekum Chelsea.
They are a boogie side. So if you want to be in the title race and people to see that, yes, Accra Hearts of Oak phobia, we are coming. This match is also important.
And they are also in Accra to beat Accra Hearts of Oak in honor of the late mother of one of their directors, who buried his mom yesterday. And so I want to believe that, exactly, I want to believe that Berekum Chelsea will be coming all out into this game. But again, let's take a look at this. Let's put those sentiments aside. Berekum Chelsea have not fared too well this season. We all agree that they've lost a couple of players. As to whether they got the right replacements for them, we don't know. Today will give us an opportunity to see how they blend. And we'll be sharing with viewers the lineup in just a few minutes. We're just running by you the arrival of the teams and the dressing rooms. What does Berekum Chelsea, Felix, bring into this match of which they would look like a threat?
The only motivation would be more technical, because the coach will tell them, you know what, I know this team very well. I'll go down as one of the greatest coaches in their history, because I won them the league, the FA Cup. I won them the treble. But we shouldn't take away the fact that you can't lose a lot of players and still stay in the Ghana Premier League and say you are conceding. And like you said some few minutes ago, they lost a couple of players.
Yes.
They lost their goalkeeper, Gregory. Excellent goalkeeper, is with a Gianna now. You lost a player like Edwin Kufuor. You've lost Hubert Jehu to Kumasi Asante Kotoko, Stephen Amankona, Mezak Efriye.
Quite a tall order.
How do you replace these guys?
Quite a tall
They know the in and out of the Ghana Premier League. These are the players that made the Golden City Park in Berekum a fortress. And if you've not been able to replace them, no matter who comes in to coach the team, it will be difficult for them to perform. And I think that is one of the reasons why they are struggling. Lack of experience in the squad that they are trying to put together is the reason. But they still have some notable names in there. You look at the players that they've lined up, and I'm sure we'll go to the lineup.
We'll go through the lineup.
I think for Boydu, he would try as much as possible to put that.
No, he's here to prove a point. He's here to prove a point. And we'll do a very quick break. When we come back, we'll also be taking a look at the technical prowess of both sides. Of course, one is playing against his mentor. But sometimes when you are playing against your mentor, that is where you have a lot more encouragement to go one step further. So let's do the quick break. When we come back, we'll take a look at that. We'll bring you the lineup as well as we dovetail into the match venue itself. We'll join you again shortly.
Drinks, a whole new vibe, another quality product from Berekum.
This advert is FDA approved.
I want to watch the match.
Even watches Ghana football these days.
Do you know Charles Taylor?
The president.
Charles the Terror Taylor. He terrorized defenses with his dribbles. Who know Don Bote? The general lifting up trophies. Stephen Odo was orchestrating the game. The legends of yesterday, they have paved way for the heroes of today. Do you know the Ghana Premier League?
No, Dad.
It's our game. It's our pride. and you watch it now live every weekend from now on.
Catch the Ghana Premier League live this and every weekend.
All right, thank you very much once again. You're welcome back into our studios here at Max TV. We're getting ready to cross over to the University of Ghana Stadium, where we've got a big game coming up. Accra Hearts of Oak stay at home. They welcome Berekum Chelsea to the venue. Match day 23 fixture. Earlier on, just before the break, I made mention of the fact that technically we'd also have to pay attention to what kind of thoughts the coaches have going into this game and what kind of plan they will have. Let's cross over now to the University of Ghana, where the coaches are ready to talk to us.
Of the Ghana Premier League, your last game was against Kotoko. You won by a goal to nil. How important would it be to continue your good form?
I think that in everything that you do, you need consistency, and I think that it's an area we need to improve on, and basically just that, keeping consistency in our winning ways and doing the right things in terms of how we need to improve in various areas of our game and to grow as a team.
You are one person who likes to move on from the last game. What has been the talk and the conversation in training this week concerning what happened last week against Kotoko?
I think that last week's one was to present the right personality and character, and also the desire to win. And so we need to consolidate what we had implemented, and then we need to keep that consistency in terms of being more efficient and decisive in very key moments of the game.
You always talk about playing teams that are at the bottom of the table, and you always label them very dangerous. You're coming up against another one that even knows how to folk well. How do you plan to break them down?
I think that it's not about the position of the club. It's about what the club is able to do. You know, sometimes you don't control the outcomes. Many times you don't control outcomes. But sometimes you awaken it and then things are not fixing the way it is. So we should not be deceived by the position of the club, but we should be more tempted with the abilities of what the club is able to do and what the team does. They are a very formidable side, playing with more compact team shape, and then also very decisive in terms of how they can move and then dangerous in set pieces. And these are the areas that we have been very, very cautious about, and also consolidating on our strengths.
Coach, we wish you the very best.
Thanks.
Coach, it's match day 23. You're coming up against your former club, Hearts of Oak. Your last 4 games, you've had 3 wins. How important would it be to continue the consistency?
Yeah, thank you very much. We know it's a very difficult game because Hearts of Oak they want to win the league, and we too, we are in the position that we want to come up from that position. So today's game will be marvelous, and I wish people will come and watch the game with a different strategy and different mentality.
You've not had joy against Hearts of Oak ever since you left. What needs to change today for you to get your first win against them?
Yeah, today is the turning point. Inshallah, today is the turning point, and I know my boys will do well, because what I've been taught, I think if they implement it, it will go well for us.
Currently, they are one of the best defensive sides in the Ghana Premier League. How do you plan to break that down today?
Yeah, though they are very good in the defensive, but we have planned very well to come and break down their defenders and then make it possible for us.
Now you are missing some players like Soroto, who has left the club. How big of a mess would that be?
Yeah, as you can see, Soroto is a key player in our team, but right now he's no more here, so we need to concentrate those that we have, and then I think we have Tinedu and then Hene, and those players are equally good like Soroto.
Coach, wish you the very best.
Thank you very much.
All right, so the coaches have spoken, and my guests will come in just briefly before we cross over to the stadium. But before they do, let's take a look at the starting 11 for both sides, because then that would give a lot of understanding to the permutations the coaches have spoken about. Accra Hearts of Oak are coming in with quite a regular formation, and so is Boedu, who also believes that he may have lost a few of the key players, but there are players in there as well who can play their roles well. So for Accra Hearts of Oak, the usual suspects, Benjamin Asari will be in goal. Rock of Gibraltar, Ali Mohammed, there's Kelvin Osei, there's Mauli Wayo, who's all starting again today. Frank Duku has a name on the starting list. Martin Kakari, Mohamed Hussein, David Oponga Frani, Abdul Karim, Baba Adamu, and Yao Amankwa Befi. These are the first 11 for Accra Hearts of Oak. Let's quickly take a look at the first 11 for the opponents, Berekum Chelsea. Eric Oforientry, he will be starting the game playing against his former colleagues. Jonah Atukwe, is good to see him. He will have the captain's armband. There's Dominic Frimpong. Benjamin Abeidu comes in with a lot of experience. Kofi Oxborn is in there. Richard Osei, Mohamed Seidu. But guess what? There's Augustine Ejepon. There's Vincent Klu Ajay. There's Samuel Tinedu. And then there's Augustine Hene. These are the two sets of starting 11 players for both sides. And I'll give you the first take. Looking at the quality on the sides of both teams in terms of the first 11, what should we expect in the first 45?
We should expect that Berekum Chelsea will make sure they sit deep and see what Accra Heart of Oak will bring on them. But I'm sure if they get their set piece, they'll see if they can utilize their set piece on that. Accra Heart of Oak will see if they can start the pressure and see if they can get the first half win in the game so that they can close the game up, because that is what Accra Heart of Oak are known for.
All right. So, Felix, let me take your thoughts quickly and then we join the feed.
Well, look at the lineup. Both teams are playing with a similar formation, 4-3-3 formation. But I think that for Hearts of Oak, having a Frani in midfield means that they can still have somebody slotting, at the back four for them. So it's quite a very good lineup for both teams. But Hearts of Oak will surely come into this as favourites.
First 11, you think will be quite close?
Very. Yeah. First 45. Sorry. Yeah, I think so. Okay. Because Hearts of Oak are not scoring goals, but defensively they are very good.
They're good. All right. So let's take a look at how rock solid the defense will be for Accra Hearts of Oak today as they take on Berekum Chelsea. We're crossing over to the University of Ghana for the first half of the game, and we will join you again at half time.
Fixtures anytime they played away from home in Berekum. Fabian's been led once again this afternoon by the ever-present Benjamin Asare, who puts up a man of the match performance in that game against Asante Kotoko last weekend at the Babayara Stadium. For Berekum Chelsea, they come into this game after a hard win at home against Bando Hearts of Lions last weekend at the Berekum Golden City Park. They had to dig deep to beat Lions by 2-1 to give them some breather in their battle against relegation. Hearts of Oak made just 2 changes to the team that beat Asante Kotoko last weekend in Kumasi. Yaobe, if he comes into, he plays Emmanuel Amankwa, who was red carded. Adamu keeps his place at left back with Esibe and Ali Mohammed partnering in central defense. Hussein, Afrani and Karim in that 3-man midfield. Duku is replacing Hamza Isa with Wayo and Kakari, keeping up in that 3-man attack for Coach Didi Dramani's side.
Yeah, that's a consistent team he wants to play with. He doesn't want to change anything. He doesn't want to fix it if it's not broken. Obviously, you would have needed a replacement for Emmanuel Amankwa, and then Duku also in for the injured Hamza Isa. It's quite a decent lineup.
Jonah Atukwe, a seasoned campaigner in the Ghanaian top flight, former Berekum Chelsea player, will be skipper for Chelsea this afternoon. He's been in and out of Chelsea. He's played for Legon City. He was close to joining Hearts of Oak a couple of seasons ago. Atukwe left for Latvia only to return and reunite with his former club. Jacob Aduntra is our centre man. He's assisted by Ali Temwa and Alex Osam, with Robert Musey as our 4th referee for this afternoon's fixture here in Legon. Berekum Chelsea have former Hearts of Oak goalkeeper Eric Oforientry man in the post for them this afternoon. Former Asante Kotoko right back, Ejapon playing at right back, Abedu at left back, Oxborn and Seidu in central defense with Tinedu, Osei and Augustine Hin in a 3-man midfield with Frimpone J and Jonah Atukwe leading the attack for Samuel Boyd, who has decided to go with a 4-3-3 formation this afternoon.
Yeah, similar to Hearts of Oak, but it's all about the variations in game. and how the players will adapt, to the changes and the pressure also coming from the Phobians. But definitely, Tinedu would have a pivotal role to play in this particular one. They'll want to leave here with maximum points.
Didi Dramani did not mince words when he showed great respect to the Berekum Chelsea team, not giving regards to where they lie on the league log. He thinks they're a very compact side under Samuel Boedu, and if it's their day, they could be up to the task against any side.
Yeah, in the reverse fixture, it was one of the very few games Hartlepool have managed to score more than once in a game this season, where they beat them at the Golden City Park in Berekum in the first round. Mauli Wayo get to the goal, Hamza Issa also on the score sheet on that day. So he knows that they are fighting, they're battling relegation, and that makes it even more dangerous for his side. Also targeting maximum points in this game.
It's the Phobians against the Breebies, match day 23 of the Ghana Premier League. Jacob Aduntra gets ready to signal us into action here in Legon. Aduntra takes a look at his watch and is blowing his whistle for commencement of the game. Here is Chelsea, who gets us going here in Legon. Esebe with a big boot away for Hearts of Oak. Pressure on Mohamed Saidu, hands the Phobians a throw. Quickly taken, Kakari with a switching chance for Hearts of Oak. And Mauli Wayo coming so close. He scored against Chelsea in the first round of the Premier League.
And that would have changed the dynamics of this game. It would have changed a lot. That early goal would have given them so much composure, going into the rest of the game. Just look at that on the left foot, lovely delivery. And again, a bit too far from the attacker.
Kakari goes down in an obvious free kick. Chelsea will protest, but referee thinks it's a foul by the Chelsea centre-back Mohamed Saidu. It was Abedu who was trailing Kakari. Saidu came in, and there's a foul.
Yeah, comes in, catches him on the foot there. Quite tricky, Martin Kakari. On the super clash, we saw him coming up against, Patrick Isiedu at that right-hand side of attack. And similarly, Abedu should be careful when dealing with a player like Kakari.
Early free kick for Hearts of Oak. Chelsea have got some defending to do as Kakari lines up alongside Mauli Wayo. Wayo goes over it. It will be Kakari who swings one to the knee post. Good save by Oforientry. It's a Hearts of Oak corner.
And they're probing now. They're asking so many questions of the Chelsea defense. This time Kakari would have whipped again. Earlier on it was a cross, but this time just aiming, to beat Oforientry from that distance. Quite a tight angle though, but it was a good hit.
It's interesting how there's this overcrowding at the far post of the Berekum Chelsea area. I've seen Ali, Wayo. So now the ball sprung up into the box, the header away. Chance for Hearts of Oak. Here's Ali. It's a handball. Referee spots it against Ali. Chelsea have a breather now.
Yeah, they just had to deal with that one. Very tricky at that point. Ali protesting. That should have been a handball and a penalty for Hearts of Oak. But the routine, and Chelsea are trying to mark them. It's more like, man marking than the zonal marking. That was the first ball. Does that come off the arm? No, it doesn't. And Ali, they're protesting. It's about the energy they are playing with Hearts of Oak already. It looks like they are pinning Chelsea to their own box now, asking questions of their defense.
For entry's delivery. Headed down by Hussein. Here is Abdul Karim Adamu, the winner from the Super Clash last weekend for the Phobians. Not a good ball to find Mauli Wayo.
He was expecting a ball to feet, not a ball into space, and that was a bit difficult for Wayo to deal with. He loves running, and he'll be using those channels very well.
Say Sebes headed down for Hearts of Oak. Here is Adamu. Wayo. Now here is Chloe J. To Tenedu. Oxborn. Augustin Hene. Adamu with a long ball looking for Duku. Referee waves play on. Hasbrook wanted a foul after Mohamed Saidu's collision with Duku, but that's a fair challenge.
Yeah, you'd be thinking it was a fair challenge, but you know the outstretched leg of the defender perhaps catches Duku. You know, Duku's trailing leg makes contact with the leg of the defender. And it was through on goal at that point, you're thinking, but yeah, quite innocuous as well.
Hasbrook, the boast of the best defensive unit in the Premier League, considered just 7 goals in 22 games, displaying their defensive solidity across the campaign. The worry for them has been the goals. 16 goals so far in 22 games.
Yeah, not averaging a goal per game. Quite worrying for a club that's aiming to win the title. And you know, to think of the fact that relegation threatened 11 Wonders are the only team to have scored fewer than Hartlepool means there's a problem. But yeah, at the defensive end, it looks quite good for them. The best record defensively in the top flight, 17 clean sheets in 22 games. That's quite impressive.
Tinedu goes down from the challenge of Ali. Referee Aduntra was not watching. Tinedu stays down.
It was a series of collision that Tinedu involved, and that was Hussein as well. And Ali just clatters into him.
Ali with a long switch, but Kakari unable to control. Afrani to Befi. Tries to pick out Kakari. Ball had already crossed the line. Assistant referee spot on with that decision.
Yeah, spot on. A ball perfectly weighted onto the part of Befi. That Befi trying to control that.
Augustin Japan showed so much promise during his days at Kotoko, only to drop in form. At a point was part of the under-20. Now he gives the ball away to Hussein. Hussein with a cross in. Abdul Karim to Wayo. Good play from Tenedu. Esibe steps up for the Phobians. Here is Ali. Adamu. Wayo tries to create the space. He sees Kakari moving into a better place. That's Kakari. Abdul Karim with the drive and a straight toe for re-entry.
Yeah, they're working well. They're using the half spaces so well. That was a long hit from Abdul Karim. The closest Hartlepool have come since that lovely pass from Kakari in the second minute. And just look at that. It was a bit crowded, but that's not bothering for re-entry at all.
Befi will step forward for Hartlepool. Here is Amankwa Befi to Martin Kakari. Kakari sees Duku. There's a flick on by Saidu. Club for offside, but in the meantime, Chelsea have a player down as midfielder Augustin Hene.
I think he's complaining about pain in the foot, Augustin Hene, but that was the pass again. And you know, they're making good use of the long balls, and that was lobbed right, you know, behind the defense of Chelsea. But for that header, Ankabura Duku would have gotten to the end of that one, and he's really been lacking playing off the shoulders of Saidu Mohammed at Tanab Oxbourne this afternoon.
Saidu's head up for Chelsea. Abdul Karim in a tussle with Richard Osei. Here is Bayfi to Esibe. Ali has these days formed a very formidable partnership in central defense with Esibe. It's fair to say they're one of the best partners in central defense across the Premier League. Esibe, some time ago, touted as error-prone, but these days he's improved in leaps and bounds. His Bayfield's delivery, easy catch for re-entry.
So easy when you're moving, especially when they use the wide areas. Hearts of Oak, you have Bayfield doubling up with Kakari up front, creating overloads over there. We've seen Adamu also pushing up a bit, to help Mauli Wayo at the left-hand side, and it's a region where Chelsea are struggling to contain Hearts of Oak at this point.
Wayo fighting for it, but Augustine Japan defending well for Chelsea. Hearts of Oak gain possession. Here's Hussein. Afrani blocked well by Tenedu. Chance for Hearts of Oak. On 10 minutes, it's Hearts of Oak nil, Chelsea nil.
Big chance, Kakari not getting out of the end of it, but Ali with an eye for a good pass. You could see players trying to go down to intercept that one. For a centre back, that was a lovely pass to the defense of Chelsea.
Oxbone's ball aiming at Atukwe, but Haas will regain possession. Here is Kakari. Now Afrani is aiming at Wayo. Good stop by a Japan. Here is a J. Very tricky customer, skillful on the ball, difficult to dispossess. Chloe J.
Yeah, a very strong lad as well, very skillful. And those 1v1 situations, his strength. No, barely loses the ball whenever he comes. Situations, Chloe J. And you can see some of Wedu asking the players to push up. And it looks like they've been really pinned to their own penalty area. Not really had any touch so far in the game in Heart of Oak's box. And that's been worrying, and that's why Samuel Wedu is asking them to push high up the pitch, at least try and win the ball.
Some results coming through from the Ghana Premier League after some 40 minutes in Doma is Hoho United, who are holding Aduana to a goalless drawn game, but Hearts of Lions have taken the lead against Gold Stars in Pando. It's Hearts of Lions 1, Gold Stars 0. And Karela have also taken the lead against 11 Wonders at Aliu Mahama Stadium in Tamale. It's Karela 1, 11 Wonders 0, and it's goalless between Holy Stars and All Blacks. Here at the University of Ghana Stadium, it's Hearts of Oak drawing goalless with Berekum Chelsea after 12 minutes.
Certainly we would see some shuffling as far as the table is concerned. Not a good collision there. Bayfi. Let's look at that. An easy point to win, but I think Bayfi just tries to challenge him on the blind side of Frimpong. And that's obviously a foul. Yamankwa Bayfi. There was no way he was going to win that ball. He knew it.
Berekum Chelsea midfielder limping off. He should be fine and come for the remaining minutes. Dominic Frimpong.
I think we counted on him. Very, very strong lad. loves the hold-up play and the lick-up play up front.
Adamu with a cross cleared by Oxbourne. I found it to Adamu. Ali goes high looking for Duku. Oxbourne heads the ball down. Wayo's effort cleared by Abedu. Abdul Karim with a disappointing ball over for a goal kick.
Right upward from the heart of the midfielder. He had options. Kakari to his right. I've gone with the simplest of options, but at that point, just can hardly tell if he was trying to, hit the back of the net with that, or trying to find a teammate. We've seen Hartlepool, play a couple of long balls already, and it's working, but it's just up to the quality of it up front, and the connections in the box not really going well so far.
Cut off an hour done so far in Legon. No goals between Hearts and Chelsea. Here is a Japan to Hine. Oxbourne. Saidu. Adamu intercepts for the Phobians, only as far as Augustin Hene. One of those experienced players in the Chelsea fold. He's been in and out of Chelsea, left for Black Leopards in Zambia. Returned to Chelsea last season, Hene. Abe. Lovely control to skip past Abdul Karim. Referee spots an infringement.
There seemed to be a pull there. Abedu does well. Lovely first touch with the chest. Just trying to, he had space in front of him. You're thinking why he moved back again. Just to pull Abdul Karim. There was no way Abdul Karim was winning that ball. He had space. Lovely control. That could have been, an attack. Maybe ended in an attacking sequence for them.
Hussein. So Esibe, who finds his partner in central defense. Ali goes long. It's a lovely pass to pick out Mankwa Befi down the right. Befi's cross blocked by Abedu. Hearts of a corner.
Yeah, they're working, and it's still the right hand side where you find Kakari, and then also Yamankwa Befi. And there's no pressure from Klu on the left hand side, or even Jonah Atukwe. We've not really seen him, and that's allowing Yamankwa Befi the Lightons to roam up front or to move further up the pitch, which he's doing, adding numbers to the Hearts of Oak attack.
Chelsea have a very terrible form away from home. Out of 11 away games, they've won none, 3 draws, and 8 defeats away from home. Kakari delivers. Ali arrives but unable to make the needed contact. Has appeal for a corner. Referee points for a goal kick.
Yeah, and the routine is working. It seems to be causing problems for Berekum Chelsea at this point. The crowd themselves at the far post. At this time, Ali was left alone over there. Just had to make that contact, send that ball back into the 6-yard box. He was alone, yeah, he does well. Had to lead for that one, but it's not in reach.
Samuel Tenedu to Chloe J. Here is Augustine Japan for Berekum Chelsea. Tenedu seemed to have found himself once again in the Chelsea colours. He was a pale shadow of himself during his days at Asante Kotoko. A transfer that caused so much controversy. It happened eventually, but Tenedu failed to live up to expectations in Kumasi.
Yeah, he had to force his way out of Kotoko. He knew there was no way he was going to break into that team, looking at the fact that they kept on bringing in players, who would actually compete with him in that same position, and he was never going to be the coach's favorite. He just had to move up. His quality is always there to see. Hold up play, no press resistant. He's a playmaker. We've seen shades of that already in this game, despite the fact that Berekum Chelsea have been limited to fewer possessions.
Bayfi again, the cross blocked this time by Richard Osei for another Hardzavok corner.
Yeah, and he's pushing for it, Yamanko Bayfi. He's enjoying it at this time. No defensive duties at this point.
It's Martin Kakari to take the Hardzavok corner as we approach 20 minutes. Ali is lurking at the far post. Afrani equally lurking. Corner is deep. Ali arrives, but the ball had already crossed the line. Oforienchi is complaining he was impeded in the process.
Yeah, I think he was. Ali, the second time we've seen him get at the end of the ball, but not being able to return it back into the 6-yard box where you have a couple of, Hardzavok players waiting to make contact. It looks like a well-rehearsed, corner kick routine.
After 20 minutes, no goals between Hardzavok and Berekum Chelsea at the University of Ghana Stadium in Legon. Chelsea in possession now. Oforienchi's clearance away. Only as far as Afrani. Duku controls. He's got Wayo in front of him. Duku hangs on. Duku tries a cutback, intercepted by Richard Osei. Another Hardzavok corner.
Poor ball from Oforienchi, which was intercepted quickly. And the transition so quick by Hardzavok. And from Duku, trying to go with the simplest of options. A cut back into the box, but that wouldn't even go through.
Berekum Chelsea are enduring a very difficult spell in this season's Premier League. Kakari delivers into the Chelsea box. Chance for Hardzavok. Abdul Karim, another wayward finish from the midfielder.
Not what you expected from him. The last time hit from outside the box was a decent one that had to be dealt with by Oforienchi. This time, not too good. Hardzavok causing all sorts of problems with the corner kicks. This time, the header back into the goalkeeper's area. A bit scrappy there. And talk about the fact that they've really pressed very well so far in this game. Hardzavok did not allow Chelsea to play their way out.
Martin Kakari sprinting forward with confidence. Here is Hussein. Sets up Adamu for a cross. Adamu swings one in, but so much on it for Adamu to get it right.
Yeah, he was hardly going to get it right. Yeah, you give credit to Japan for trying to intercept that ball. He moved so well. Narrow the angle for Adamu. Could have taken an extra touch into space, but decided to whip that one.
It's quite interesting how Didi Dramani is sticking to Adamu when the more established and cultured left back Ransford Mensah is on the bench this afternoon for the Phobians.
Yeah, two left backs but different profiles, and you talk about Adamu, he's not really that offensive minded left back as compared to Ransford Mensah, who is also a dead ball specialist, but he gives them stability at that left back position.
Oxborn, Ejapon. Now Augustin Hene. He's giving the ball away cheaply. Now Abdul Karim does what to go past Osei, but he also gives it away. But referee Aduntra right there whistles infringement, foul against Chelsea.
Yeah, he had to go back and award that one to Hardzavok. The trip on Abdul Karim. At that point, it was a bit slow from him, the reaction. You had players bumping forward. Could have just picked up a teammate with just a simple pass.
Berekum Chelsea are yet to get a win against Hardzavok since Samuel Brodu cross carpet to Berekum. in all 5 meetings with the Phobians since Boadu joined Chelsea, have not won a single, and the Phobians have emerged winners and dominant in all games they played with Chelsea under Samuel Boadu. In the pre-match interview with Boadu, he said this could be the turning point for his side.
He knows it, but after 24 minutes, there's no indication that they are in to win this one. They've been so defensive. You know, they are playing with the low block now, and they are making life very easy for Accra Hearts of Oak. They've created good chances, Hearts of Oak. You know, but the most important thing, putting the back ball at the back of the net, hasn't really occurred. But you know, it's been positive for them, especially when they move forward.
Abdul Karim for Hearts of Oak. Now Ali to Adamu. Wayo does well to skip passage upon. Here is Maoli Wayo. Goes for goal. Takes the deflection of Hene. No troubles for Forienchi.
And not at all. The deflection taking away the power. But that would have been difficult to beat Forienchi. And I think it was just the wrong option at that point, while you had space in front of him. He had players up front as well.
Not so much has been seen of Jonah Tukwe in the opening 25 minutes. Yaman Kwamri Befi keeping the taps on him on the left hand side of the Chelsea attack.
And they've done pretty well. No blocking all those passing lanes. They've narrowed Chelsea to very short passes and no touches in their box.
Afrani with a good ball to pick out Adamu. He's got Wayo up front. Here is Adamu. Duku and Wayo creates the space for him. Here is Wayo! Straight to Forienchi.
Good attacking sequence again. The left hand side, so much space to exploit. Adamu does well to tee up Maoli Wayo. And again, decision making. Yeah, he had the space, he had the luxury to shoot. And again, the placement just straight at the goalkeeper for Forienchi. You talk about the home games they've played so far this season, and you know, in the games where they've dropped points, and I think this is the game where they've really taken the game to the opponent hard to go. Usually it's been a bit lethargic whenever they play at home, but today you can see the energy. They should be at least a goal up by now, looking at the chances they've created so far.
Here is Yao Befi for Hearts of Oak. Ali. Adamu. Ali goes long looking for Duku. Osborne heads it down. Adamu, was he tripped from behind by AJ Aduntra? Perfectly right.
He was there, very close to the action, saw it. It was Adamu. I didn't offer any protection at all to that ball.
Chance for Wayo again, and Forienchi call to action once again by Maoli Wayo. Liveliest of the Hearts of Oak attackers this afternoon, Maoli Wayo.
Yeah, he's been coming, and they could have been punished with that. It was a dangerous place to lose the ball, and Wayo pouncing on it, going straight to hit that one. A bit of curve on it, and she does well to parry it away.
It's Martin Kakari to take the Hearts of Oak corner, bends one in, Forienchi's arriving and he plucks it beautifully.
Quite a different routine from what we've seen so far. Earlier on, we've seen Hearts of Oak players crowding at the far post, you know, moving with so much pace whenever the ball is hit. But this time you could see them scattered across the box or in the box.
Referee Aduntra is calling for the Chelsea medical team to attend to goalkeeper Eric Forienchi, who has suddenly gone down.
Yeah, you heard the Hearts of Oak players were trying to attack that earlier corner kick effected by Martin Kakari, and I think that's where the problem is now. I thought there's still some time in it. He's going to fend off a series of attacks by this Hearts of Oak attack. seen a couple of shots being saved by Oforianchi. They've been asking questions of the Chelsea defense, and especially with Chelsea playing on the back foot throughout the game. It's been so easy for her to work at this point. They know that they have to score very, very early to take off some of the pressure, or the pressure off their shoulders. Because even in the last game, they scored quite early.
Samuel Wedu would take the opportunity to issue out some instructions to Tinedu, Frimpong, AJ, and Hine, who are manning that four-man midfield for Chelsea this afternoon. Asari has had little to do in the opening 30 minutes of this game so far. He's barely touched the ball. The Phobian number one and Ghana's number one. Half an hour at the University of Ghana Stadium in Legon. Hearts nil, Chelsea nil. Here is Bayfi. Kakari loses the ball to Atukwe. Fouled by Atukwe. Free kick for Hearts of Oak.
The referee right there to spot that action. Kakari lost it momentarily. Did well to regain possession again before being tripped by Atukwe. And I'm not really seeing the best of Atukwe so far in this game. On the left hand side, he's really been isolated.
Free kick for Hearts of Oak. It's Martin Kakari and Yaman Kwambefi right behind it. Bayfi sometimes used as a decoy for Kakari to deliver. Point is whether they'll go through the same routine on this one. Aduntra will hold on to this free kick to settle some scores right in the 18-yard box. Kakari goes down for Bayfi. Bayfi cuts back and is stopped by Abedu. Something that must have been rehearsed from the training grounds, but didn't quite happen for them this time. Here is Kakari, takes the ball away from Atukwe. It is Kakari. Now Afrani whips in a cross. Ofori gets it away. Adamu shoots and it's blocked by Seidu just on the goal line. And Atukwe will finally get it away. Hearts of Oak knocking on the doors, asking questions of the Chelsea defense. There was a foul against Osei Sebe. Aduntra spotted the infringement. Late call, but good decision.
Good decision. Very good decision there. But it's Chelsea. They keep playing themselves into trouble. That ball being dealt with by Entry. And just look at down the volley. No jog volley by Adamu right on the edge of the box. He should be dealing with that one effectively, but he punches it to a dangerous area.
Hussein's drive not dealt with well by Ofori. It's a corner.
Yeah, and for Chelsea, it doesn't look good. Yeah, they're playing on the back foot, but decision making with regards to clearing of the ball, moving the ball away from danger has been the problem.
The excitement is building up in the Hearts of Oak.
I don't know if
supporters front because they seem to be smelling the goal coming. Phobians have lost count of the number of corner kicks they've gotten this first half. They've been dominant. Absolutely dominant. It is Bayfi's delivery. Referee whistle, spots an infringement in the Chelsea box.
And they will take a breather, Chelsea. It's not really being that flamboyant from them. You look at the fact that you're looking at breaking a jinx that has been hunting them for a long time, but that was the point where that was quite needless from Kakari. Needless, impeding Oforianchi at that point where the ball hadn't even gotten to the goalkeeper.
Doku Seidu came off the arm of Martin Kakari.
We spoke about the fact that it's still the 4-3-3 formation for both teams, but it's about what you do with the ball, how you move, in transition. We've seen quite some good moves from Accra Hearts of Oak. They've won themselves quite a number of set pieces. They are yet to score, but it's been impressive.
Foul against Wayo. Last season, Hazleburg beat Chelsea both home and away. They beat them 1-0 at the Golden City Park. Mauli Wayo was a hero in that game, and they beat them 2-1 in the reverse fixture in Accra, with Ramsey Yusuf, Hamza Isa, and Kwabna Boateng scoring for the Phobians. Chelsea have not covered themselves in glory in the last 4 seasons against the Phobians, losing almost every game. Esibe drives on with a shot, and Oforenchi equal to the task.
He had to, the ball taking a bit of, a dip there right in front of the goalkeeper, but as well goes down very, very early. And it is the spaces they're leaving behind for Accra Hearts of Oak at this point. That was a good move from the defender, Esibe, who had so much space to drive the ball infield and hit that one.
Why you have scored in back-to-back seasons against Chelsea this season and last season, and he's come close in this afternoon's games at war. Ali. He sees the movement of Bayfi. He's aiming at Bayfi, but not too sure about the communication between Bayfi and Kakari on that side.
He went for the wrong man. Bayfi was out on the other side, a bit free, no one marking him. He had space in front of him as well. Rather chose to go to Kakari, who had a marker right behind him. There was no way he was going to win that ball. It's a rant of Bayfi so far this afternoon that has caused a lot of problems for Chelsea.
Jonah Atokwe. That's a powerful drive and a brilliant save by Benjamin Asare, and that's why he's Hazleburg's #1. It was a powerful drive from Dominic Frimpong, and Asare rose to the occasion.
He had to. It's the first time we've seen Chelsea in action at offensive end, and it was Frimpong. He's been isolated all game, just near this chance. It was a good hit. Asare with a palm, just flicked that one away.
An instinctive reaction from the Hazleburg goalkeeper to deny Chelsea the opening goal, but that was a powerful hit from Dominic Frimpong. Corner Chelsea. Captain Atukwe to take for the Breebies of Berekum. Atukwe swings one to the near post. It's a mistake by Adamu. Chelsea with a chance. Ali tries desperately to get it away, and Adamu this time perfectly gets it away.
He had to pressure up, and for the first time in this game, Chelsea having a touch in the box of Accra Hearts of Oak. They've been on the back foot all game. Just needed that shot, that attack from Dominic Frimpong to bring them back to life, and already we've seen them with some quality deliveries as well. That one from the corner kick, not bad at all. Nearly causing Chelsea to grab the opener.
Tenedo is a good ball to Atukwe. He sees the movement of Frimpong, but decides to check onto Klue J. And Klue will weigh in a cross. It's a lovely cross, but Esibe heads it down for Afrani to control coolly and get it away for Hearts of Oak. Only as far as Oxbourne, who gets back to Forienchi.
And already we are seeing Chelsea at their best now. It looks like they're not carrying now, trying to defend with a low block. They know they have the quality, especially after we saw that space being left behind by Yaman Kwabefi that allowed Dominic Frimpong to hit that shot, and all of a sudden they feel like, yeah, they smell weakness in this Hearts of Oak side whenever they move forward, and that's where they can exploit it and try and head them.
Approaching 40 minutes. Here in Legon is Hearts of Oak and Chelsea. No goals to talk about. Here is Adamu. It's 5 more minutes before the break at the University of Ghana Stadium. Hearts of Oak nil, Chelsea nil. Here comes Adamu. Swings in across. Duku is arriving away by Oxbourne. Tinedu goes down. Hene traps it back. Referee Aduntra whistles for a decision against Hearts of Oak Hussein. That was too heavy on Samuel Tinedu.
Yeah, a bit late as well from Hussein. It's a 50-50 ball. And both players had their eyes on the ball. And it was Tinedu that rose the highest. No, above Hussein. Hussein also trying to show interest in that ball and unfortunately bring it down. Tinedu has been so lively for Berekum Chelsea. Oh.
These fans have come here in some confident mood following that victory over Kotoko last weekend in Kumasi. Suddenly they feel like they are back in the conversation for the Premier League title race.
Yeah, that's a win, the kind of win that gives you the impetus, knowing that you can go to the backyard of your bitterest rivals and get maximum points with 10 men, and it shows how courageous they were on the day. And you would want to ride on that win. You can't go to Kumasi and win, in one game week, and the next week you're dropping points against Berekum Chelsea, one of the worst performing sides in the league.
Ali to Abdul Karim. Lovely calm possession from Abdul Karim. Here is Adamu. Skips past Atukwe. Almost dragging him down, but he stays resolute. Here comes Afrane. Esibe will step forward for Hearts of Oak. Upon Afrane. He's carried himself so well in that unusual midfield position since the defensive setup became almost a no-go area for him to penetrate.
Yeah, he's quite versatile. He's a playmaker if he wants to be so rugged in that area. He'll show so much composure as well whenever he's on the ball.
There's a foul against Abdul Karim, and Aduntra was right there.
Seemed to be a 50-50 ball. Karim against Atukwe. It wasn't so hard. It just catches the ankle, the shin, closer to the shin area of Jonah Atukwe's right foot. Just look at that. He should be fortunate, very, very fortunate, Abdul Karim. He's not going into the referee's books.
Lucky boy, Karim.
Very, very lucky. Showing stats. The stats also catching the shin of Jonah Atukwe. Very few referees could just, not even show a yellow card for that. Perhaps it happened in a flash.
Ali delivers. Duku. Seidu, here is Duku. Tinedu. Lovely on the board. Tinedu. Chloe J. Lovely dink to Abedu. Samuel Tinedu. He's enjoying himself in that midfield role.
Yes, but the support, from Augustine Hine and then also Richard Osei hasn't really been there. Whenever he has the ball, it's so difficult to dispossess him of it. So calm.
Here is Augustine Japan, shows great desire, moves forward with confidence. He's got Chloe J on his left. He picks up the young star who comes up against Bayfi, skips past Bayfi, sends it across. Atukwe is arriving, traps it back into the box, but nobody in yellow for Chelsea.
I know that all attacking with fewer men.
Some brilliant play from Afrani. He thought he was, in that momentum to search forward, only to be halted by that whistle by Aduntra for the Chelsea player to be attended to.
He had to. It was, a ball that would have been a quick transition by Accra Hearts, especially with Afrani, trying to scan the area to see the players on the move, but he had to be halted.
Agbesi, Mensah, Asma, Collison, all of them watching on from the Azabok bench. And Agbesi in particular has been in the conversation of a Black Stars call-up in the last couple of days. Widespread media reports in the Ghanaian portal suggest that he's going to earn a call-up in that double-header friendly between Ghana, Austria and Germany in the month of March ahead of the World Cup.
Yeah, he's shown his quality. He's given everyone reasons to even put him in that conversation.
Esibe steps forward, Esibe drives one, he takes a deflection and has a walk up a corner.
Again, Chelsea not closing the man down on time, allowing him that freedom to roll forward with that ball. It's the second time in this game we've seen him come from deep, and shoot the ball. This time it was Dominic Frimpong trying to close in by a bit too late.
Martin Kakari to take the Azavo corner. We are into the final seconds of stoppage time to wrap up first half of action here, but Aduntra will hold on to the corner because Chelsea have a player down. It is the central defender Mohamed Saidu who seems to have taken a knock in that tussle in the build-up to the corner being taken.
Yeah, the routine again, and you have the House of Oak players moving to the far post again right before the corner has been taken. At this time it was Saidu Mohamed who was tripped in an attempt to recover, stay close to his marker.
It's 54 minutes in Doma. It's Aduana 0, Hoho United 0. Hearts of Lions are hanging on to that 1-0 win over Gold Stars in Bando. Kakari bends the corner, for entry, fisted away. Here is Chloe J. He's breaking away for Chelsea. Lovely skill to go past Kakari. Here is Chloe J. Stopped in his tracks.
Yeah, and he's been the liveliest of the attackers, for Berekum Chelsea this afternoon. He spoke about the fact that he lost a 1v1.
Kakari was on the move and had to be stopped right there by Hene, but Oforienchi has gone down again. This is the second time he's going down. Eric Oforienchi. He never enjoyed his time as Hazard goalkeeper. He only made 8 appearances in a period that was characterized by injuries upon injuries. Eventually he had to leave and he's back after 47 minutes yet to concede against the Phobians.
He's kept the lines clean for them. He's kept his sheets clean as well so far. He's made some decent saves as compared to Benjamin Asari, who's just had 1 save to make so far. He's been the busiest of the 2 goalkeepers.
Yalbefi to take, he goes low. Here is Kakari, Benson 1, away by Oxbourne. Aduntra whistles for the end of the first half here at the University of Ghana Stadium in Legon. Hearts of Oak 0, Berekum Chelsea 0 in a game that saw the Phobians dominating in the early exchanges. They dominated up until the last 8 minutes or so when Chelsea came in. After Dominic Frimpong's effort was parried away by Asari, they finally got the confidence to go at the Phobians. But it's been a first half dominated by Hazabok. They've created the more chances and had goalkeeper Forienchi doing more of the saves than his opposing goalkeeper Benjamin Asari. No goals scored, 6 shots by the Phobians, 6 on target, 1 for Chelsea. Dominant in possession at 60%. And as many as 7 corners for the Phobians. It tells you the direction this game has been going. No yellow cards so far. It's half time at the University of Ghana Stadium in Legon.
you. If you dreaming, don't be afraid. I'm in the valleys. Keep your head up high. Got to dream with Puma drinks. Yeah, believe it, you can achieve. Oh yeah, clap your hands for the whole new vibe. Make me say, oh yeah, come alive. Let me hear you.
Drinks, a whole new vibe. Another quality product from Berekum.
This advert is FDA approved.
I want to watch them out.
Even watches Ghana football these days.
Do you know Charles Taylor?
The president.
Charles the Terror Taylor. He terrorized defenses with his dribbles. Who know Don Bote? For the general, lifting up trophies. Stephen Odro was orchestrating the game. The legends of yesterday, they have paved way for the heroes of today. Do you know the Ghana Premier League?
No, Dad.
It's our game, it's our pride. And you watch it now live every weekend from now on.
Catch the Ghana Premier League live this and every weekend.
Kondo will join me for the first.
Product from Berekum.
Alrighty, welcome back into the studios here at Max TV. It's the end of the first 45 minutes. No goal to talk about at the end of that period. My panelists were sure of what they were saying. When we saw the starting lineup, we knew that it was going to be very tough, very cagey. But again, you also wonder where are the sharpshooters? Lots of chances were created in the game, especially on the part of Accra Hearts of Oak, but the finishing has just not been there. It's been absent for the first 45 minutes. Berekum Chelsea have done what it matters most. They've held on to the ball. They've also tried to maneuver, but they've also hit a stumbling block. The wall in front of Benjamin Asare, himself a wall, has made it very, very difficult. And I'm sure that's one of the reasons why Accra Hearts of Oak have not let in a lot of goals. It's half time. Let me come to my gentleman, Felix. First 45.
It's been the same Hearts of Oak. Limited
Nothing
chances.
new.
Yeah, I was picking the data for the game, and Hearts of Oak 60% of the possession. They've had 7 corner kicks. They have 6 shots on target,
and nothing to show.
And you shouldn't, with all these stats that I just mentioned, you shouldn't be drawing goalless with everything that you've done in this game. You understand? But I must say kudos to Berekum Chelsea. They've defended very, very well. Osborne and Asiedu at the back have been very, very fantastic. Even though they've created limited number of opportunities, their front three of Clouvier, Jonah Tukwe, and then Dominic Frimpong, they've been very, very good. And in fact, they've been very, very mobile. They are only shot on target, yes, which the stats is showing. They are only shot on target with that wonderful save by Benjamin Asare. Sometimes goalkeepers, when you are in post and you are not doing anything, and all of a sudden there's a shot direct at you,
could be caught off guard.
But he did quite well. But it's quite disappointing for Hearts of Oak. You can't create 7 corner kicks, 60% of possession, 6 shots on target, and still, it will be very disappointing. And I'm sure that this has been, if you want to look at how the entire season has gone for Hearts of Oak, this starts is a clear picture. They keep possession of the ball, they get a lot of corner kicks, but they are finding it difficult to score goals. If you look at Hearts of Oak this season, Mauli Wayo has scored 4 goals. Mauli Wayo has scored 5 goals. Hamza Issa has scored 4 goals. Hamza Issa is not even in the team because of these contract issues. But if Mauli Wayo and then Hamza Issa is not scoring, it's very difficult to see where the goals are going to come from for Hearts of Oak, and it's clearly showing. For Samuel Bode, will be very, very happy because of all the possession that they've given to Hearts of Oak and the shot on target, they've been able to hold them for the opening 45 minutes. I'm sure that he would love to still hold them up until the 80 minutes. There will be a lot of pressure on Hearts of Oak, and because results from other title contenders might be flying in at that time, there'll be pressure on them to take it to Berekum Chelsea, and probably that might open up for Chelsea to catch them on the break. So we are in for a very entertaining next 45 minutes.
Yes, the second 45 minutes will be quite key. Taking a look at, and you've also realized that anytime the cameras fall on Didi, he's always on his feet, directing traffic here and there. Bwedu has also been very, very active on the lines as well. But before the game started, Bwedu did indicate that this season, based on a question he was asked by my colleague Murtala Mohammed, he said this will be the turning point, and that he's got one over Accra Hearts of Oak coming up. Before I go to NY, let me go back to the stadium. The halftime interviews are ready. Let's pick up the interviews from there.
And his goalless at the break have been joined by the team manager and assistant coach of Berekum Chelsea, Emmanuel Nkrumah. Coach, you've been able to hold Hearts of Oak in the first 45 minutes. What do you need to do in the second 45 minutes to ensure you get the victory that you so seek?
Yeah, the boys have done well. We told them what to do on the pitch, and to be frank, they are doing it perfectly, except that the attackers can't hold the ball up front. That is the only thing they are not doing. So we are going to tell them what they should do in the second half so that we can have our goals.
Okay, we wish you the very best in the second 45 minutes. That is Emmanuel Nkrumah. He is the assistant coach and also the TM for this Berekum Chelsea team. They are currently holding Hearts of Oak to a goalless draw. Najau Issa has also joined me from Hearts of Oak. Coach, first 45 minutes, you've dominated possession, created enough chances, but you've not been able to score. What is really the problem?
Well, I think we need to move more up front to open the space, then we can finish up.
Do you think goalkeeper Oforenchi is the reason why this scoreline is still goalless?
Of course, he's part of the team, and I think he's doing his job as a goalkeeper, because He's part of the number 11, and then all he will do to keep his team in the game, he has to do that, and it is the reason why he's also here. I think he's performing his duty.
Well, we wish you the very best for the second 45 minutes. Najau Isa is the goalkeeper's trainer and also an assistant coach for Heart of Oak.
All right, so we heard from the technical benches, their thoughts on the first 45 minutes. It's been close, it's been tough for them. NY, let me take your thoughts on the first 45.
Well, I said that I'm not expecting that Accra Heart of Oak will follow that trend, that they win a match, maybe like last week or last 2 weeks, then their next game, they draw.
Felix has even made it simpler for us. Per the statistics at the end of the first 45 minutes, it is the same Accra Heart of Oak.
Yes.
Nothing has changed.
Nothing has changed. But you see, a lot of people will ask that, is this the same composure and character that Accra Heart of Oak played with Asante Kotoko just some few days ago? But we cannot see the same here. Because they keep shooting 6 shots on target. But has any of the ball get into the net?
But not to cut you. You look at the intensity in the Super Clash. Because it's a rivalry game, the intensity was there.
Without a doubt.
I don't see any difference with the chances Heart of Oak created in that game. If not for that set pieces that Damu scored in the Kotoka game, Heart of Oak would have even ended the game.
Exactly.
They've been struggling.
So you see, that's what, there's something here that I want us to watch. You see, Hearts played with Hohoe United, traveled to Hohoe, went to score 1. Their next game they played with Dreams, goalless draw. Their next game they played with 11 Wonders, they won 3-0. Their next game they hosted Berekum United, goalless. Their next game they went to Kumasi, they scored Asante Kotoko 1. Now today we are here. They are playing with Berekum Chelsea. Berekum Chelsea are one of the bad travelers. But you look at first half, it's goalless. That is the same thing we sat here when they played with Berekum United. And we saw that, Hearts have beaten 11 Wonders, coming to play with Berekum United. They are taking that momentum and play with Berekum United and win. But they kept squandering the chances and it ended goalless.
Anyway, we are hoping for a better.
For you to even appreciate it more, Hearts of Oak are the second least scoring team in the league.
That's it.
11 Wonders have scored 14 goals.
Yes.
Hearts of Oak have scored 16, and Samates have scored 16. You can't win titles with that. They say defense wins you titles, but goals wins you game. So if you are keeping clean sheets, you've considered 7 in, let's say 23.5 games. But you are not scoring goals. That is so they're not even averaging their goal per game.
And that's the difficulty. Let's take a look at results from the other centers so that it gives us a clearer picture of exactly what is happening. So it's goalless at Legon. Heart of Lions are leading BBNE Gold Stars by 1-0. Hohoe have just shot up 1 goal in faraway Doma against Adriana. Karela United are leading 11 Wonders by 2-0, and that's not a shock, is it? FC Samatex 1996 0, Mediama Sporting Club 0, and that's a heavy, tough one. Basake Holy Stars and Swedru are also drawing goalless. Young Apostles 0, Kumasi Asante Kotoko 2, and then Nations and Dreams FC 70 minutes and it's still goalless, and that's a shocker because Nations, when they're at home, sometimes they show a lot of power and invincibility.
Quick update. I think the Hohoe United goal wasn't given. And then Basake have a lead against Swedru All Blacks.
So Basake is now 1 goal up against Swedru All Blacks.
Between Adriana and
But Hohoe's goal was disallowed? So that's confirmation. All right. So Adriana and Hohoe is goalless.
And where are the goals?
But where are the men to score the goals?
Because
where are the men to score the goals?
Lions and Karela. Actually, the title contenders, Samate's drawing with Mediama, Hearts of Oak is no scoring. It could be a good day for Kumasi Asante Kotoko.
Well, they could bounce back, They could bounce back because if Adriana doesn't score and Accra Hearts of Oak are still lingering in on the
Gold Stars, and Samatex and Mediama too
are drawing.
And Gold Stars, by the way, are trailing, so which means that it's not good news for them. Playing away from home. at Kpandu. Anyway, second half is just around the corner. Gentlemen, do we expect to see any significant change in what we saw in the first 45?
I feel that Accra Heart of Folk should just go with the mindset to keep on with the pressure, because in the first half I saw them putting up a lot of pressure on the defense of Berekum Chelsea. Kudos to their goalkeeper. They've done well, but they should pick up from where they start from. Keep shooting from all cylinders. I saw Kelvin Osei shooting outside the box. They should keep doing that, and it should be clinical enough. Maybe 1 or 2 goals can pop in and they can get a 3-point.
Felix, you see anything different?
Well, I'm just trying to look at that Folk bench, but I look at the bench and there is nobody that can come in and say he's going to change the scoreline for Heart of Folk. Probably what they need to do is take their time and try as much as possible to convert some of the chances that they'll be creating in the second. But for Berekum Chelsea, they'll still stick to what have worked for them.
All right.
In the opening 45.
So here we go. Second 45. See you again at full time.
Abdul Karim gets us going for second half as Benjamin Asari sends a long one inside, headed down by Seidu. He gets it away again, this time further away, but it's Dominic Frimpong who is doing the chasing. Osei Sibe rises higher, wins the foul. Decision against the Chelsea striker.
Yeah, trying to win that one against Kelvin Osei Sibe would always be difficult. He's known for winning the duels, especially the aerial ones, and at that point, that's well to go up and head that one out, so winning the free kick.
Abeidu's header. Jonah Atukwe. Samuel Tenedu. Stopped by Esibe. Puts one through for Hussein. That's what to hang on. He's got down. Referee thinks it's a fair challenge from Augustin Hene. Jonah Atukwe, good control from Atukwe on the left wing for Chelsea. Stopped by Abdul Karim illegitimately. Referee Aduntra whistles and Chelsea have the decision their favour.
Yeah, Heart of Folk, I think they should have won that earlier free kick when Hussein was brought down. But Jonah Atukwe nearly breaking away on the left hand side. Abdul Karim right in his way there, obstructing him clearly. It's good to see Hussein Mohamed up again on his feet.
Abeidu to Augustin Hene. Yabefi goes down from the challenge of Augustin Hene. Free kick.
Proximity at that point was sandwiched in between Augustin Hene and then also Abeidu. That was a good touch to move away from the two before they were being tackled down.
Martin Kakari to take the Hearts of Oak free kick, and Kakari swings one into the box of range. He makes no mistake with a firm grab, and it's Tinedo who is trying to send one away for Atukwe, and Hussein arrives and takes the ball away. He prefers the face-to-face approach.
Yeah, he wasn't going to take any chances there, Mohamed Hussein. He had a goalkeeper asking for it as well. Very confident goalkeeper, Benjamin Asari. Hussein knew that perhaps going there would have been a bit problematic. Let's hit that one out of play. As the spaces they are leaving behind Hearts of Oak, they are committing more men forward with the hopes of grabbing the lead in this game.
Hussein Afrani doesn't clear it well. Tinedu on the volley, but he flies over the bar for a goal kick. Samuel Tinedu with an attempted goal.
Good hit from the Chelsea midfielder. Just 2 touches. The next one would have not dropped there. Again, doesn't manage to giving away too many fouls at this point, especially when those balls are lifted up there for them to contest for it. It's always a free kick in favor of Chelsea. And these are balls you could make good use of.
Here comes Wayo to Kakari looking for spot. Adamu. Now Kakari, an opportunity to send in a cross. He swings one to the near post. Wayo goes down. Referee flags him for offside. Assistant referee was right there, spotting that infringement.
Decent delivery, yeah. A fraction offside there. Yep. Maoli Wayo right behind the last Berekum Chelsea defender. That was Oxbourne. That was a good run into the box, but not really time.
Abedu, Seidu, Oxbourne comes under pressure and kicks the ball away to Adamu. He gives possession to Dominic Frimpong, who puts one through 14. That was forward behind Jonah Atukwe.
Yeah, and for Berekum Chelsea, they are playing with an isolated attacking, unit. You have Jonah Atukwe, Chloe J on the left hand side, and then also Dominic Frimpong, and they seem to be isolated because you have a chunk of the players trying to defend, playing on the back foot, and at that point it should have been an easy pass to find Clue to just kickstart the attack.
Osesebe showing desire to join the attack. Pass of a free kick. Hussein wins it. Richard Osei bringing Hussein down.
You would always want to keep, an eye on him. Hussein has a knack of drawing players out of position, always, and that's why he's always left to play that free role, where he has the license to roam and, pick out the other attackers with good balls.
Abdul Karim to take the Hearts-of-Oak free kick. Almost every player of Hearts-of-Oak in the Chelsea half. Referee has halted play for the moment because Jonathan Atukwe has gone down, and it was seemed to be a challenge from Yaman Kwameriku off the cameras.
Yeah, that happened right before the free kick was taken. Off the ball. My referee was there to see it. You're asking what actually happened between himself, and that was it. You could see he was just trying to peel away from Yamanko Bayfi. Bayfi holding him, just grabbed him, shoved him down. And again, another chance, gone wasted there by Accra Hearts. Spoken of the fact that they're giving too many free kicks away at this time. Another needless one, especially when you have the ball and you could have done anything at all with it. That players also waiting in the box to attack it.
These guys are impatient, just waiting for that opening goal. They seem to have lost their voices once the goals are not coming there out of the fans.
It's always a problem when you come up against teams battling relegation. And for the records, it's not good for Hearts of Oak when a home game ends goalless in the first half. They tend to waste chances in the first, and then in the second half they are not able to find their way past the opposition's defense. We saw it against Berekum United. We saw it against Dreams FC as well.
Ali sends one in looking for Duku. Traps it down. Hene. Calm and composing that midfield. He finds Abedu. Switches in. Ali heads it down. Here's Afrani. Karim. Yes, he's over-elaborated and he's got to pay for it. Here's Chloe J. Sets up Dominic Frimpong, but it's straight to Asare.
And those two are combining now. It's been effective so far.
Augustin Hene to Augustin Japan. Chelsea growing in confidence as the clock tick on. Atukwe, ball across the line is a good decision from the assistant referee Alex Osam.
And they are beginning to look lively now. Berekum Chelsea, once they are involved in the attacking unit. Spoke about the fact that they've been isolated, for larger parts of the game. You have Dominic combining so well with Klu, and then also Jonah Tukwe.
Samuel Tinedu. It's a lovely switch to pick out Chloe J. And Klu finding it difficult to go past Adamu. He does well. Brilliant play from Klu. And Aduntra might just be forced to reach his pocket. At the moment, he doesn't go there, but that's some good move from Chloe J.
Yeah, the 1v1 situation is quite easy for him. He had to wrestle his way past Adamu, but for Kakari, the nutmeg, the cheek of it, just look at that. So easily done. Kakari just had to make himself a bit large there to just bring Klu down. And that's what you get when you involve them, the attackers. They're so quick, they're pacey. So what Jonah Tukwe and then also Klu.
Chelsea have a free kick. Augustine Japan has got that in his locker. He's got a couple of free kicks from angles like this during his days at Kotoko. This time he doesn't, an in-swinger and it's straight to Benjamin Asare.
Yeah, it's been positive for them. Berekum Chelsea.
Some 11 minutes into second half action and it's Hazavok nil, Chelsea nil. Here is Duku. Chance for Hazavok, Mauli Wayo. Could have been one for Hazavok. Wayo stepping up into the box. Outstretched leg on the left foot. Just missing by inches, Wayo.
Big chance, big chance. And it's a shame he's not able to direct that one on target. That ball on target could have been the opener for Hazavok. A good job done by Duku. Had to raise down the line. Just tease up Wayo. Again, another miss for him. And he just can't believe it himself. That miss similar to that one he missed in the game against 11 Wonders. Seen him miss some sitters and this is up there. Should have been doing better at that point, Mauli Wayo.
But Stephen Apiasare has come in to replace Frank Abura Duku. It's not really glittered in this afternoon's game. Duku.
Yeah, his last involvement perhaps could have been a goal if Wayo, had tucked that one in. But he struggled, coming up against Said Mohammed and then Oxbourne, the two centre backs, a bit ragged. They've been so physical and they've kept him at bay in this game.
Saidu's ball. Atikwe is left alone to race for it against Ali, but Asare is up for it.
And it's a dwells their win in Accra Hazavok. It's so easy, especially when they choose to press very, very high up the pitch and force Berekum Chelsea to hit the long balls. It's so easy for Mohamed Ali and then also Esibe.
Kakari dinks one looking for Wayo, but it's cleared by Hene. Now Chloe J. Trying to get carried away by the antics. Chloe J. Mauli Wayo concedes a free kick, much to the displeasure of the Hazavok fans. The uproar and disagreement tells it all.
Yeah, you're thinking that should have been a foul to him, but shot tag in there. Yeah, referee saw it right there. Mauli Wayo.
Chloe J doesn't seem to agree with the referee. The ball had crossed the line.
You're not finding him with good passes now. He has space to operate now. His movement has also caused Adamu not to really join the attack each and every time Hazavok bump forward. Was something you were expecting them to do earlier in the game, especially even on the right hand side where you have Jonah Tukwe going toe to toe with Yamankwa Beifi.
Saidu, he's been the busiest of the Chelsea defenders, having to deal with Wayo and Duku until he was replaced. Scored full marks on all occasions. There's a foul against Wayo for Shetagin.
Yeah, and he's growing. His frustration is growing. It's becoming so apparent. You talk about the centre-back pairing, Saidu and Oxbourne, and it's not just about how poor they've been on the road, but usually when they keep clean sheets or even win points on the road, these two would always be pivotal. That's absolutely, we've seen them, with combining.
Chelsea look a completely different team from the one we saw in the first half. They've stepped up in the second half, more confident, more calm, more determined not to allow Hearts of Oak create chances and make inroads into their area.
And that's why you always have to bury the chances when you create them. You spoke about the fact that Hearts of Oak 6 draws at home so far this season, and each and every time they fail to score in the first half, it becomes so dangerous for them because it looks like they are likely to drop point in games like this.
Afrani with a cross that is straight to a foreign entry. Bibiani Gold Stars have equalized in stoppage time. It's Hearts of Lions 1, Gold Stars 1 in Pando. Gold Stars have not lost in the last 2 seasons to Hearts of Lions in Pando. And the status quo seems to be rewritten.
Yeah, they've lost their mojo. You talk about Heart of Lions, where many pundits believe that they could also challenge for the league title, looking at how good they were last season. But I think that run of poor results had really condemned them to just trying to stay afloat and not have any conversation with relegation. It's been bad for them.
Kakari's effort terribly gone wrong. Goal kick. Samuel Bedu yet to win against Hearts of Oak since leaving this club. A team he guided to win the double and followed up with another FA Cup trophy the following season. He's struggling at Chelsea this season, Samuel Bedu, isn't he?
Yes, but obviously, the expectations at Hearts of Oak will be quite, huge as compared to that at Chelsea. But there's a Chelsea side that are also very expectant of any manager at all. Despite the legacy he left at Accra Hearts of Oak, I don't think he's really been able to chalk that level of success at Chelsea since joining them.
Hearts of Oak are getting ready for another substitution. You can always trust Didi Dramani to have something up his sleeves when the odds are stacked against him. With 10 men in Kumasi last weekend, he defied the odds with some tactical brilliance to edge Kotoko and get maximum points. This time, he's brought in Rafala Ponsa for Abdul Karim. It's almost a like-for-like substitution by the Hearts of Oak Gaffer.
Yeah, Abdul Karim with a knock now. And you have Rafael Lamponsa also now moving into that deeper role, playing that double pivot role together with Afrani.
Hussein goes down from the challenge of Osei. Free kick for Hearts of Oak.
Yeah, clear push there on Hussein. The dummy there nearly made use of the space left. Let's see Osei with both arms just pushing him away. That was a good ball direct from Afrani, and that was a push, clear push on Hussein.
Amponsan's first involvement is to take the free kick for the Phobians. Decides to go low for Maoli Wayo. Lousy pass from Kakari. Tinedu, that's a lovely dink to find Chloe J. Goes past Amponsan. Brilliant play from Chloe J. He was fouled initially. That's a good decision. Referee decided to play on because Chloe had the advantage. The moment he lost the ball, He revisits the incident and it's a spot-on decision.
Excellent refereeing, but it's Clue again causing all sort of problems, and he knew once he wasn't going to advance that ball, a free kick would be awarded. And whenever he has the ball, it's so difficult to stop him in his tracks. Clue.
Jonah Tukwe to take the free kick. 6 seasons ago, he was a big deal in the Premier League. He goes in with a drive that is not beating Benjamin Asare. It took a bounce before Asare made contact, but he was right alert on time.
He had his eyes on the ball. Yeah, the bounce there could have been a bit tricky for the Hearts of Oak number 1, but just spotted that rightly. Just putting his body behind the ball to save it. Talk about the performance of Chelsea, and it's really doubled up in the second half.
Dominic Frimpong. Adamu steps forward with some 65 minutes played. This Hearts of Oak pushing for the opening goal. Asare. Here's Maoli Wayo. He goes down right in the box. Was there contact enough to warrant a penalty? Did Seydou pull Wayo down?
I think he did. Wayo had that ball in front of him, Seydou right behind him. There was no way Wayo wouldn't have hit that ball if there wasn't contact. Perhaps the replay would give us a clearer view, but I think that should have been a penalty. And just look at that, bit miscued by Kakari. Just look at that. That was a pull over there. Clearly, Seydou has no intentions of winning the ball. He definitely had no intentions. The pull from behind. It's just shocking that wasn't awarded.
Berekum Chelsea left off the hook. Jacob Aduntra has halted play momentarily.
It was a decent ball again, and Asare had to take his time, to tee up Kakari. He was just waiting right at the edge of the box, but again, you have the defender not going in for the ball, and you're wondering how that wasn't given as a penalty. As he had his arms wrapped around Wayo. Wayo nearly had wanted to hit that one, but I think perhaps the positioning of the ball and wasn't so clear. Maybe they knew.
A lot of thinking to do at this point for Didi Dramani and Samuel Boedu. For the Phobian fans, they would have been thinking that after closing that chapter in Kumasi on a victory note, they would have been up by 1 or 2 here at the University of Ghana Stadium against Chelsea. But Samuel Boedu's Chargers have held their own so brilliantly to keep the Phobians at bay after 68 minutes here in Legon.
Yeah, they've been disciplined in defense, they've been resolute. Even though they've allowed Hearts of Oak some space in the defense, I think Ofoyenchi, as was too tall, he's made some brilliant saves for them.
Ali is trying to put one through for Asare, but Aduntra has been called to check on Adamu.
They seem to be in some excruciating pain. There was a muzzle pulled there. Yeah, he's pointing to his thighs. He needs some medical assistance at this point. Oh, and if you're thinking, if you're chasing Clue for most part of the game, definitely you would pull a muzzle. Because Clue Ajay has really been a thorn in the flesh of of the Hearts of Oak defense, especially Baba Adamu at the left back position. Going 1v1 with that player, and it's almost always impossible to halt him. I think that's the implication of that. That's what you get. But for Adamu, he's been decent. His confidence is also growing, and that was another situation there. Again, after passing that ball, he just goes down. Adamu, I doubt he'll be able to continue.
Twenty more minutes to go. Hearts of Oak nil, Chelsea nil here in Legon, as Chelsea get into the Hearts of Oak area through the danger man Chloe J up against Afrani. He wants to shoot and is drifted wide for a goal kick.
There's the confidence that's oozing now for the attacker. Again, creating space for himself, and no one getting close to him now. So dangerous at this point. Just beating everyone with so much ease. Clue. I should be directing that one on target.
There's a foul all day, yellow card, but referee decides to let it go because Hearts of Oak have the momentum. Here comes Amankwa Befi to Kakari. Befi wants it back, obviously. Kakari hangs on. That's all to pick up Befi again. They play the 1-2 with Kakari at the end of it. Switches to Asari. Wants to create the space and shoot. Now Amponsan will take it over. Mauliwayo steps up for Befi on the right side. Here is Befi, goes low. Chance for Hearts of Oak! And nobody is connecting, as I say. Clears it away for a corner. What a chance!
Big chance now. Big chance again. Lovely way to work their way into the box again. Befi just puts a dangerous ball to the 6-yard box. Again, no one there. Was Mauliwayo nearly getting that all-important touch. He then looks everyone after that touch from the Berekum Chelsea defender. That's the closest they've come in the second half. Hearts of Oak. That was a promising attack.
Hussein will make way for Kofi Asma. Hussein is more of a creative enforcer. Asma a bit physical, robust in his approach, but he's got eye for goals as well. Referee seems to have flashed a yellow card to Augustine Japan for that initial foul. Kakari to take the Hearts of Oak corner on 72 minutes. Shocking. The BNA Gold Stars have beaten Hearts of Lions in Kpando on the stroke of full time. I said it before the game ended that Hearts of Lions have not beaten Gold Stars in the last 3 seasons, and they've ensured that they are equally back in the conversation for the Premier League title. Here comes the corner by Hearts of Oak. It's cleared away.
We've seen decent deliveries, from corner kick situations, and the last one wasn't just the best, especially when you have the momentum on your side and you're hoping to get a goal at this point.
Confirmation of Augustine Japan's yellow card. Referee held on to the decision because Hearts of Oak had the ball heading into Chelsea's area. At the moment the ball failed to make the needed impact, he flashes the card to a Japan. Asari. Ali. Mensah, who came in to replace Adamu, has found Asma, cuts it back, nobody for the Phobians. Tinedu over elaborates and Hearts of Oak pick it up. Afrani. Asma. Mensah is a teasing cross. Headed down by Abedu. Bayfi is trying to get to Kakari. He's giving the ball away and Chelsea have a chance to break away. 15 more minutes to go. Here's Arzabok having some defending to do as Esibe brings down Atukwe. Free kick Chelsea.
And it's respite for Berekum Chelsea at this point. Arzabok really knocked on the doors, but it's always Chelsea have stayed resolute in defense. I've seen them come up clutch, with their defending this afternoon. It's been decent from them. Again, whenever they want to break away, it's either Clue or Jonah Atukwe.
Atukwe goes past Amponsan. Chance for Chelsea. That was a wrong option to have taken. Decided to go for goal, the outside of his foot. Not the best of options by Jonah Atukwe.
Yeah, and he had to apologize. He had bodies in the box waiting, for a touch. Dominic Frimpong was a bit more central. Atukwe.
It's ended in Tamale at the Aliu Mahama Stadium. Karela have maximum points against 11 Wonders in a 2-0 win. Abedu's throw headed down by Bayfi. Benjamin Abedu to take the throw for Chelsea. Can't get to Atukwe, but Hazabok nearly gave the ball away in their own area. Now they've given it away. Here is Abedu. Atukwe. Ose gives it away to Amponsan. Bayfi committed himself. He thought he had gotten the foul against Ose, only for him to be the culprit, not the victim.
Yeah, that was a sloppy play. Hazavok playing themselves into trouble again, giving Berekum Chelsea a chance to attack and perhaps get a goal at this point.
Samuel Tenedu and Abedu, two experienced players to combine and take this one, and Tinedu goes for goal and is straight to Asari.
Yeah, good hit. And again, the outcome was quite obvious. You knew Asari would definitely save that one. And as much as they've not won lots of set pieces, we've seen them not really cause any havoc with it.
Johnson Amuzu will come in for Dominic Frimpong. Frimpong got the best out of Asari with that belter in the first half that got Asari responding with that one-hand save.
Yeah, and it was actually what sparked them, brought them back to life in the game. They've been on the back foot. It's been boring from them until that good move and one good hit by Dominic Frimpong, to just wake them up.
Osei switches to Atukwe. He's got Abedu behind him. He locates Abedu. Abedu wins the throw off Kakari.
Yeah, it seems Chelsea are in control now. The last 5 minutes, Berekum Chelsea, dictating the tempo at the pace of the game.
The game is panning out in a situation not likely to be appreciated by the Hazard faithful. Their problem this season has been why they are not scoring at home, and here they are to defend against Chelsea's Chloe J. Ali, difficult to beat, tough customer, too experienced to be moved by the antics of Chloe J.
Talk about experience and the quality as well to stop Chloe J at that point.
Here is Wayo. Good movement by Wayo. But that's clever defending from Seidu. Wayo is surprised he's not getting a foul, but sorry to say, there was nothing in it for Wayo.
Not at all, but it was a good move. He could have stayed on his feet again. Just look at that. But it was Seidu who gets a fraction of the ball. Yeah, clean tackle there. Wayo at some point just believes he was out of gas, had to go down, but not winning the sympathy of the referee whatsoever. That was a good defending, top-notch defending by Seidu Mohammed.
Amponsa. Here's Asma with a cross. Headed down by Oxbourne. Chloe J. Here is Afrane. Abedu to Tenedu. Now Chelsea will drive forward. It's Tenedu into the last 10 minutes. Abedu. Tenedu. Augustin Hene. Amponsa almost winning it for Hadzabok, but Tenedu caught by the outstretched leg of Kofi Asma. Free kick for Chelsea.
A good call, left it late on Samuel Tenedu. And he's really been unplayable this afternoon. Samuel Tenedu, so hard working, worked his socks off. They've struggled, the Hadzabok midfielders, to deal with the trickery and intelligence of Tenedu in midfield.
Didi Dramani
should be careful.
And the centre man Aduntra in some exchanges here. Yellow card flashed to Didi Dramani. Hadzabok's assistant coach Abdullah Ghazali is already serving suspension, so he's been deputized by the goalkeeper's trainer. So Didi Dramani, the head coach, must be careful. He must set a good example on the bench and be calm and composed.
He needs to, but these are difficult and frustrating moments for the Hadzabok Gaffer.
It's obvious when the goals are not coming in times like this, tempers are likely to go up, but Didi must keep calm.
You hardly see him in such, having such heated arguments or altercations with referees. Hardly. But I think today's case is quite different, but yeah, he needs to maintain some composure. Still protesting about that penalty kick that wasn't awarded, I believe, but he just needs to be careful now, like you said.
Free kick Hadzabok.
And you're thinking he should be playing the advantage. That was what Asma was asking for. It was a clear handball there, yeah, on the Japan. Asma was thinking, yeah, allow me to go through.
Hadzabok have a free kick. A Japonian clue stepping up for the wall as Asma and Mensah plot and plan for this. Mensah goes somewhere, Asma swings the ball in the box, away by Abedu for Chelsea. Amponsa to Bayfi. Bayfi sends one looking for Asma, but it's Osei who steps up, push down, free kick Chelsea. He wanted the foul, and indeed Richard Osei got what he wanted.
He was inviting it, he was calling for it. We're a bit too physical and aggressive from Kwesi Asma. As with that hand right at the back of Richard Osei. He's been quiet. Very quiet throughout the game, but he's really done a decent job for Chelsea in midfield together with Tenedu and Augustin Hene.
Asari sprinting forward. Here is Asma, fouled by Osei. Hadzabok in a hurry to take the free kick, but Aduntra will stop them in their groove.
Time is running out for the Phobians. They didn't know it. Those will be two huge points dropped at this point.
William Bediakon and Marvin Owusu will come in for Chelsea. Samuel Boedu throwing his last cards into the game with some 5 minutes to go. So Chloe J and Richard Osei, Chelsea's number 27 and 14 respectively, will make way for number 9 Marvin Owusu and William Bediako respectively. And Osei has been decent in that midfield, especially in the second half, where he's won almost all the 50-50 balls for Chelsea.
He has. He's played his part. Chelsea on their way to a huge point here. They know how crucial that will be towards their Premier League survival chances. Talk about Klub as well, combining so well with, Jonah Tukwe and then also Dominic Frimpong up front. He's really been a tunnel in the flesh of the Hearts of Oak defense, especially on the left-hand side where Babadamu operates. 1v1 situation, so deadly.
Amponsan to take the Hearts of Oak free kick with some 4 minutes to go. Is Chelsea holding and hanging on here and frustrating the Phobians in their territory? Before the exit, he was yellow carded for time wasting. Richard Osei, deliberate time wasting before the substitution. Chance for Azabok. Afani's effort is blocked. Esibe's effort is cleared.
Okay, appeals for handball. Appeals for handball there. The referee having none of it. Again, a dangerous ball whipped into the box.
Going to the final 4 minutes of this game here in Legon. And Ofori entry grabs it for Chelsea.
Well, they've been excellent in defense. Berekum Chelsea. We've seen Hearts of Oak threaten. We've seen Hearts of Oak, play a couple of good balls into the box. It's either you have the defenders trying to, defend it, or the goalkeeper is putting something behind it. Yeah, at this point, that's just the genesis of the frustration we've seen on the faces of the Hearts of Oak players.
Augustin Hene, one of Chelsea's midfielders, have also gone down. These are the very foundation of Hearts of Oak's national chapters. The Oak Seed. These guys are being nurtured to become responsible Hearts of Oak supporters in the future. More or less like the Catch Them Young Hearts of Oak supporters, like it's been done for the referees in Ghana. And they've lighted up the Hearts of Oak support base anytime they've come to the stadium, these little kids.
They have, and they've won hearts all of a sudden. Yeah, literally. They've won quite a number of hearts, and I think it's a practice being done across the various match centers as well. Last week there was a section of the Kotoko supporters or fan base where you saw young kids as well, being captured.
Asari comes out with those trademark clearances, and Marvin Owusu decides to go for goal from that distance, but Asari is right there.
Yeah, I was thinking Muhammad Ali would have dealt with that for a second, but he doesn't panic. Never panics.
Afran is balling, looking for Asma. Oxbourne makes a mistake. Ejapon clears it. Throwing Hearts of Oak. We're into the final seconds of 90. It's finished goalless in Samurai Boy. Mediama have held Samatex to a goalless drawn game, but it's Ali's balling, cleared by Ejapon. Kotoko have beaten Young Apostles by 2-0 in Winchi. On goal by Bote and Johnson Owusu scoring the second. So Kotoko back to winning ways after losing to Hearts of Oak last week, but Hearts of Oak are struggling to beat Chelsea here. Augustin Hene beats Wayo to it and goes to for entry. They have a difficult trip to BBN next weekend against Gold Stars, who have won against Hearts of Lions, Hearts of Oak. They must be worried if they are unable to take maximum points against one of the worst performing teams in the Premier League. Confirmation of additional time, 4 minutes time added on. Hearts have a free kick.
Pushing more men forward at this point. Rafael Amponsa, the holding midfielder, now joining the attack. Yeah, that's well. Fends off the challenge of William. Holds on to win that foul. That's what you have to do at this point. And they've been criticised for not taking risks in games like this out of Oak.
Berekum Chelsea will be the more content of the two sides. If the game ends this way, they pick up a draw, a red draw for them away from home. They've only managed 3 draws from 9 visits away from Berekum. 8 defeats. This could be the 4th draw for them this season, Chelsea, away from home. And it will be against Hearts of Oak. Kakari steps forward. He bends one and it goes way over the bar for a goal kick. Disappointing from Kakari.
It is. You had players in the box waiting for a delivery. It was a similar position, just a bit forward. But hitting that one, trying to find a target would always be difficult for Kakari. A bit disappointing for the Hearts of Oak attacker. You can see the look on Ali's face there, expecting a decent delivery at least.
Chelsea will return to the Golden City Park to face Young Apostles on match day 24 as Hearts of Oak chase the opening goal. Here is Amponsa. He sends in a cross. Asare is lurking, heads it down for Asma, heads it back in the box, but Chelsea defends so resolutely. That's a clearance away by Berekum Chelsea's Amuzu. Now here comes Amponsa. Afrani has been very decent and exciting to watch this afternoon. Here is Esibe. A Japan's clearance. Afrani heads it back for Mensah, who are into the final 2 minutes of stoppage time. This should be a foul. It should be a yellow card. A Japan will be lucky if he doesn't get a yellow card for this challenge.
He's already in the yellow.
Then Aduncha would decide to be charitable.
I think so. I think so. But that turn again from Henry, Steven, just look at that. So swift. The Japan doesn't see that one coming. Just moves to the wrong side of the Japan. Makes it difficult for him to stop him. Just had to trip him to hold the attack.
Hearts of Oak have a free kick in stoppage time. Final seconds of stoppage time. Hearts have a free kick. Kakari's banned. Seidu brings it down. And Augustin Hene will get it away for the Phobians. Here is Benjamin Asari. Ali puts 1-2 for Kakari, but Abedu with a body check to deny Azavox. Martin Kakari. That should be it for this game. And guess what? If it ends this way, this will be the 10th draw for Hearts of Oak this season. Yellow card to Oforienchi. He deserves it.
He deserves it for time wasting. Oforienchi, he knows that was coming, but he just had to take it.
And this is going to be their sit-home draw. Guess what? Hearts of Oak have only won 4 games at home. losing once against Kotoko, and this draw will be the set of the season at their own backyard. Upon Frane, blocked by Atukwe. Jacob Aduntra whistles for the end of the game here at the University of Ghana Stadium in Legon. A result that will seem like a defeat to the Phobians, but for Chelsea, it's joy for them considering their poor run of form in the Premier League, especially on the road. Having come all the way from Berekum to scoop a valuable point here is a big deal for Samuel Boedu's side. For Benjamin Asari and his charges, they must be thinking about the points in BBNE after failing to win in front of their home fans, having defied the odds to beat Kotoko last weekend in Kumasi. A man of the match performance from Mohamed Ali would not be enough for the Phobian defender this evening, because the big deal was the maximum points to keep them in the conversation for the Premier League title. What a day for the Phobians. They've disappointed their faithfuls.
Yeah, they have. It was, an opportunity to close in on league leaders Mediama Sporting Club after they also dropped points away at Samatex, and they flubbed chances out of it. They created decent chances, some falling to Mauli Wayu. We saw it. Yeah, the penalty appeals not going their way, but it was a game where they should be winning. For Berekum, Chelsea going to Kotoko, grabbing a point, coming to a crowd, grabbing a point at the expense of Hartlepool tells you that they really want to escape relegation. No matter what happens, they still want to. And that young man over there, Atukwe, he's been unplayable. He was unplayable, but the joy on the face of the coach, Samuel Boedu, tells you how valuable and crucial this point is.
He said it was going to be a turning point for him because he wasn't going to lose. He didn't win, but he'll be excited that he picked up a valuable point. Hearts nil, Berekum Chelsea nil.
Drinks, a whole new vibe. Another quality product from Berekum.
This advert is FDA approved.
So it's all over here at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. Hartlepool have drawn goalless with Berekum Chelsea in match day 23 of the Ghana Premier League. My name is Mutala.
Hello, so we are back into the studios. Thank you very much for joining us. And we've come from a game played at the University of Ghana Stadium where no goal was scored. A lot of the expectations were that at least Accra Hearts of Oak would continue the winning spree from the Garden City. But they pulled up blank. Although Kumasi Asante Kotoko, I should say, put the smiles back on the faces of their fans because they won their match by a 2-goal advantage. The gentlemen are still here with me in the studio, and quickly we'll take a look at what happened, especially in the second 45 minutes. Plus, of course, we'll be standing by to hear from the coaches, their perspectives, their thoughts on the full match. And don't forget, as we said earlier on, there are some difficult next 5 matches coming the way of the teams. We'll take a look at the results in total and juxtapose that to positions on the Ghana Premier League table. And then we have a fair idea of going forward. So Felix is here together with Nanea. Gentlemen, once again, it's your turn to tell us exactly your thoughts on 90 minutes. And for those of you who just joined us midway in the discussion, we did indicate that the second 45 minutes was going to be nothing to write home about. But it looks like we saw a lot of positivity on the part of Berekum Chelsea. They got into the game, and as we were told during the halftime, they were playing according to set instructions. And so they'll be going back to their base, the Golden City Park, richer by 1 point, which is better than losing. Oh, Nana, what do you think?
Than losing, because when you are meeting with a team that were able to beat their bitter rivals at their own backyard, and you come to their home at the University of Ghana, Legon, a place that they feel after they went there, getting that as their home turf, they have been getting some results. But my worry is Accra Heart of Folk, their attacking wise has been very poor, because you can't be missing chances like that. I mean, Mauli Wayo missing that chance there. I mean, these are some of the things that their head coach, D. Dramani, will keep saying it all over again. He always says that he does not care about how they win their previous match, but what he cares about is the consistency, how they are going to continue with that form. And that has been a worry for Accra Heart of Folk, looking at how they can defend very well, but when it gets to the other side of the department, which is the attacking wise, that is where they fail to produce a lot of efficiency. So for me, the second half, I was looking at Accra Heart of Folk continuing with a pressing nature, which they did, but Berekum Chelsea also had some options of just making things quiet for them. They also opened up a bit, and we saw a couple of brilliant saves coming from Benjamin Asare for Accra Heart of Folk, and also when you look at the other side, Berekum Chelsea's goalkeeper, that is Entry, also produced some brilliant rescuing saves for Berekum Chelsea. So I think the coach, Samuel Boyd, will know what Accra Heart of Folk will do. So they map up a strategy to frustrate them to get a 1 point, and they share the points.
Okay, we'll be crossing over to the stadium, but I'll let Felix also share his thoughts on the game after 90 minutes. And you said it from the beginning, so really I don't need to ask you any question again.
Prince, it's quite disappointing.
It is.
It is disappointing for the fans who go out there every Sunday to watch home
expecting results.
Because you look at your last 3 games, draw against Bichim United, Dreams FC.
Yeah, Dreams.
And in fact, it wasn't just scoring draws; it was all goalless. You see, but I don't want to go hard on Didi Dramani, because for a coach, the situation in which he finds himself, it will always be difficult to get the best out of these players, because there is a transfer embargo on you. You know where the weakness of your team is, but you can't go to the market and buy, because there is an embargo on transfer when it comes to Accra of purchasing new players. So it would always be difficult. See, I think if he's able to finish in the top 4 at the end of the season, that will be a very good job done by Didi Draman, because of the lack of transfer. Yes, exactly. So it's quite difficult. But these are games that no matter which kind of players wears the phobia jersey, they should be picking points from, and it's quite disappointing, Prince.
Well, it's disappointing, and I'm following what's been happening on the social media, and some of the comments are just not too pleasant. There's a gentleman I know, is a very, very die-hard fan of Accra Hearts of Folk. Now he says, you draw 6 matches at home against weak teams like Chelsea, Bichim, Hohoi United, Dreams, etc. This is so nauseating.
The Prince, if you hear what I'm about to say, they will be very disappointed, because Hearts of Folk have played 14 games at home. They've drawn 10.
What a statistic, yeah.
Wow,
What a
that's
statistic.
Wow.
But you see, it also sums up, like Felix said, it sums up the situation, the precarious situation Coach Didi finds himself in.
Yeah.
There's nothing he can do about it.
Yeah.
He only has a set of players that he can use for now. So he can only try and do his best, at least till the end of the season. And again, when we after we've listened to the coaches, I'm sure that we'll find time to bring you the updated league table. Yeah. We'll also bring you the results from the other centers. And so you would have a fair idea of why and how disappointed, especially the followers of Accra Hearts of Oak have been. But of course, it sums up the kind of season they have also had, you know. Thankfully for Kumasi Asante Kotoko, they put the joy back on the faces of their fans far away from home, winning their match convincingly by a 2-goal advantage. And so for Accra Hearts of Oak, there's a lot of work to be done. And not only the Accra Hearts of Oak team, in fact, all the teams dotted across. And you'd have a fair idea of exactly what we mean. So they play the game with the men that they had at their disposal.
Yes.
But especially technically, wouldn't you say that we probably should also doff our heads off for Samuel Bwedu?
Of course.
Because of the way he played, and according to them, the team played according to the instructions. And at the end of the match, you saw how he went onto the field, hugging the players. Good job done, Ayeko, Moneo, you know.
Exactly.
Because it looks like they had executed.
Yeah, of course.
The plan.
If you look at the formation they played, you know, Abeidu and then Japan,
yes,
you know, as left back and right back, then Osborne and Seidu playing as centre back.
Yeah.
But what really impressed me is the work that Osei did, the chap in the number 14, sitting in front of that back four. He did a lot of work. And then also Jonah Atukwe, supplies didn't come as much as he would want to.
Have wanted,
but with the limited opportunity, he was able to work out. Benjamin Asari, very, very. In fact, their front three was very, very, mobile. You can't say same for Hearts of Oak front three of Duku, who's what's the name, Kakari, and then Wayo as well. It was only Wayo who was a bit mobile, but it was very, very flat. And you see, it's sad because if I look at Hearts of Oak over the years, in fact, when Ouattara took over, the entire team struggled in defense, in goalkeeping, in midfield. But this is the time where I feel Hearts of Oak have stability at the back, stability in post, and even have a very fine midfield. But the major problem is attack. And it is sad because I don't want to be going back to history, but this is a club that have had their success on the quality of strikers that they had. Ishmael Ado, Prince of Goals, Dombo, Charles Taylor. It might be a general problem in the league where we find it very difficult to produce goal scorers. But you are one of the biggest teams in the country. You are one of the biggest on the continent. Hearts of Oak you cannot fight for the league title if you are not buying players. It's as simple as that. Whatever it is, they need to solve their transfer issue. This season, there won't be any transfer window opening. But the season will end. And I'm sure you want to maintain Didi Dramani. But going into next season, you really need to at least beef up the squad. For now, per stats, they are free from relegation. But I think that every coach would like to build on. And I'm very, very impressed with what Didi Dramani has done, especially with all this transfer embargo. We all know that that's a major problem this season will be goal scoring. So their transfer targets or what areas they need to beef up when it comes to the team structure would be in attack. So they have to make sure that whatever transfer embargo has been placed on them, because if not for the same transfer issue, probably Hamza Issa would have even started or play a part in this game. But their bench is too blank. Very, very blank.
No, they didn't offer any stiff opposition.
I don't think Eric Oforenchi made any decent.
They were short on target. They weren't troubling. They weren't troubling. He had a good day. I mean, for those who followed Eric Oforenchi over the years, I mean, he had a good day. He was not put under pressure.
Not at all.
And every time, again, Accra Hearts of Oak tried to use the long balls, the crosses. Look at how he dealt with them. with cheeky ease.
And there were moments where he managed the game. You know, players when there's injury time, they call it time management mood. Exactly. He was able to. And in fact, the referee had to book him for that. But he won't mind. There was so much pressure. Sometimes
played his part.
You need to cool off the pressure.
Played his part, and it's not been easy for them as well. So at least traveling all the way to Accra, and I'm sure Nana Safu Odro would also be happy. Because like we said, a director of Berekum Chelsea, he couldn't afford to lose the game when he had already lost and buried his mom yesterday. But anyway, let's head back to the stadium. The coaches are ready to talk to us. Let's listen to what they had to say at the end of 90 minutes.
By the head coach of Berekum Chelsea, Samuel Bodu. Coach, first of all, how happy are you with the point that you've gained against your former club?
Yeah, I'm not happy at all because that's not the motive, the reason why we came here. We came here to win, but quite unfortunately we drew with them, so I'm not happy due to the position that we are now.
Of course. Now, in the first half, we saw that you defended gallantly, especially when Hartlepool are with the ball. We see 5 at the back. Is it a tactical, system that you practice throughout the week?
Yeah, we did it throughout the week because sometimes in the game it depends the tempo of the game. We need to manage the game very well because as we are coming, we know that Hartlepool is a big club. They have a very good technical team and the individual players are really good. So I told them to compact at the back so that they cannot penetrate.
Do you feel if you had done a bit more in the second half, you could have snatched all 3 points?
Exactly.
Because you found yourself in some very good situations.
Yeah, exactly. But sometimes you know the players, sometimes their mindset is different. Whatever you told them, sometimes they get tired and agitating and all that stuff. So I think that if you keep working on it, I think it will be nice for us.
Now it's 3 games without a defeat. How important is it to build on the consistency in match day 24?
This is how we're supposed to do because 3 games without losing is good, but that's how we should go because during the first round we didn't do well and the second round we have to beef up with 1 or 2 players. But the problem that we are having is when you bring the player up, the player travel outside, and it's also there's no consistency in my team, but I think we are working towards it.
Coach, thanks very much, and we wish you the very best in your future games. Samuel Boadu, formerly of Hartlepool. Remember that the last trophy or the title that Hartlepool won, courtesy Samuel Boadu, he won it for them, but this time he's no longer with the club. Masoud Didi Dramani, the head coach of Hartlepool, has also joined me. Coach, your team have them path today, but it wasn't meant to be. What was lacking in your game today?
I think that we still need to improve on our decision making in those key, very, very key moments of the game. I think that we had every opportunity to have at least scored a goal, if not more, but to score a goal and then we don't control the outcomes. We can control how we have to do, how we have to set up, but the decisions we don't.
I mean,
have to make
a lot of people are calling you the Arsenal of Ghana Premier League. You score from a lot of set pieces, like we saw last week against Asante Kotoko. Today you had numerous set pieces, but you couldn't make it count.
Yeah, it happens. Sometimes you score from set pieces. Sometimes you try. If the delivery does not come in the right way, that was a challenge. It is all about the decisions we make in very key moments of the game. I think that we need to really improve, but we still think that is the level, so we keep working.
Now I remember prior to this game, you said that this could be a tricky one because it doesn't matter the position that Berekum Chelsea are lying. Do you think on the day the system and tactics made life very difficult for you?
No, I think that we still, even though they stood low, but we still had a lot of spaces to get through them right from the beginning of the game till the end of the game. They moved out on the transitions during turnovers, but I still think that we still control ourselves. We've been doing everything that is humanly very much possible, but still we're still lacking very important moments where we should improve on making some credible decisions in order to turn things around.
Now finally, you have 1 week before your next fixture. What must change?
Still, we keep working. Football, you need to still try to improve and then we can grow.
And we saw your goalkeeper Benjamin Asari again pulling off some fantastic.
And the match it make a lot of chances, but yet man I'm attacking tell no. If I'm difficult able to ball into the net. Now my Abrama One up pie 0-0.
Now, we share a lot of set pieces, and then we will say a corner be a baby and now call back post. But look, one be drew on my which mean connect, and then an enquiry.
And also, I'm like my timing, was very poor. Also, I'm more most in the first half, never seen me so bad. I mean, taking that advantage, and I'm timing here poor.
Of course, they say more about a next game, more 1 week to before your next game. At the end, SSS going into that game.
Going to that game, I should coach me on board. I'm born next week. You have following instructions in the court in next game.
Of course, Ali Mohammed, he is actually.
All right, so Ali Mohammed walks away with yet another MVP. Congratulations to him. He is steadily becoming a very dependable defender, and I think he needs a lot of encouragement. He definitely will get there. The partnership at the back. In fact, he's one of the reasons why it's been difficult for Hearts to concede goals. Let's put Benjamin Asare aside. He's one of the reasons why it's been difficult. And he stands resolute when he's in the Hearts defense and also supports the attack as and when they go through. I think his versatility has played us an advantage.
One thing about Hearts of Folk, Benjamin Asare and clean sheet.
Yeah.
Yes, goalkeepers take credit, but for you as a goalkeeper, for you to have a clean sheet, your entire team, especially your back four, plays a very huge role. So, Befi at right back, Adamu at left back, and then Asibe, and then Ali Mohammed. And you talking about Ali Mohammed, he's been very impressive. I think that one of the revelation of the season for Hearts of Folk, because you look at Ali Mohammed, it is because of Ali Mohammed that now Afrani has to be pushed into a defensive midfield position, because he's not getting to partner, Asibe anymore, because anytime Ali Mohammed is there, they form a very good partnership with Asibe. So it is good for Hearts of Folk, it is good for the team, and I'm sure Benjamin Asare would also be happy that I have a very solid forward protective shield in front of me. And sometimes too, goalkeepers also help, and that is why there is a leadership quality that you sometimes get from your goalkeepers. Sometimes your goalkeepers have to tell you how you move, how you watch, and all that. And I think that they've all played a part in how Hearts of Folk have kept only, considered only 7 goals in the league this season, so and in having conceded in 18 league matches. That's quite impressive. But it will be very disappointing for the goalkeepers and for the defenders. I am doing my job as a goalkeeper, keeping clean sheet. I am doing my job as a defender, giving you the shield you need. Why are you guys not scoring? Why? Because if we are conceding, we are losing games. But we are not. So you guys should also score for us to win games.
At least it compensates all that they've been doing.
You understand? So it is quite disappointing. And especially, see, the last 3 games are games that Hearts of Folk should have won at the Legon Sports Cup. Against Berekum United, against Dream Chelsea, against Berekum Chelsea. At least, if you are not even winning all 3, honestly, I would have preferred Hearts of Folk lost a game and pick 6 points from that 3 games. Because that would be better than you.
That would be better than just getting 3 points.
3 points out of the 9.
The 9, yes.
You understand? It's quite disappointing. But I also don't want to take anything away from Berekum Chelsea. They came into this game, had a strategy. They respected the instructions of their coach. And you could see Boedu, expressing his happiness about getting the point. And for me, in as much as they've been bad this season, for them to go to Kumasi and get a point, and come to Accra and get a point against us in Kotoko, they can build on that.
Let's go back briefly and talk about this save by the goalkeeper. I mean, the pressure was on Hearts. They came forward, and the thunderbolt of the drive and the closeness. Well, but again, Asare stood tall.
Excellent goalkeeping, but I would have been very disappointed in Asare if he had conceded this goal. Because he shot the shot was coming directly. I want to give him credit, because sometimes for a goalkeeper, if you've been in post for almost 36 minutes and you've basically done nothing than to receive balls with your feet and then pass them around, you have to be alert in moments like this. And that's why I want to give him credit.
Positioning was good. The anticipation was good.
Yes. And lucky for him, the ball was also coming directly at him. And that was a very good save. But then again, Mohamed Ali could have also done better by closing down the player. But I don't want to take anything away from Jonah Tukwe. That was well hit, but that was also an excellent save from Ghana's number 1.
Of course, without a doubt, and the prayer is that he stays in tip-top form
and
as
fit.
Fit. Yes. That's true, and fit. As we get closer to what really matters.
Friends, you've seen goalkeepers miss call-up because of a finger injury on the day when the squad is being mentioned.
Felix, I don't want to be reminded.
So we are praying and fasting for
No, it won't happen. It won't happen. He has to go there and prove a point. It won't happen. It won't happen. But, well, so unfortunately, again, Accra Hearts of Oak missed the opportunity to climb up the table. But we'll be taking a look at the league results from match day 23. Okay, so there we have it on the screen. It started on Saturday with Vision beating Berekum by 3-2. Hearts of Oak and Berekum Chelsea has ended goalless. Heart of Lions, who took the lead in their match against the Gold Stars, have been beaten by 2-1 by BBNE Gold Stars, which means they are also nosing ahead bit by bit. Aduana and Hohoe United, it ended goalless. Karela United managed to beat 11 Wonders by 2-0, and that's not really a shocking result. FC Samatex and Midiama, that was a very, very tough game. And at the end of 90 minutes, the Fortress still remained the Fortress. FC Samatex 0, Midiama Sporting Club 0. Baseke Holy Stars managed a 1-0 victory over Swedru All Blacks. And Young Apostles lost by 2-0 to Asante Kotoko. It has ended 1-1 in terms of the game between Nations and Dreams.
Okay.
Yes, it's ended 1-1. So slight correction, the Nations won, Dreams FC won. And so these are the results that have been recorded as at the end of match week 23. Interesting results. Interesting results. Anyway, which of the results didn't really shock you? I mean, apart from the one we just saw.
Apart
from the one we just saw.
Well, when you look at Karela against 11 Wonders, it didn't really shock me because
2-0 result, it was clear.
I know 11 Wonders is just a team that is just banging in goals. You know, they just collect goals.
Christmas.
They are just giving out for the Christmas gifts. But you look at Aduana playing with Hohoe United, and they couldn't win that game. That is where I have a bit of worry for Aduana Football Club. It seems we are talking about Accra Heart of Folk inconsistency, but we have to also look at Aduana Football Club too as well.
Okay.
Yeah, inconsistency too is something that we need to talk about, because you can't be drawing some games that you should be picking up.
Yeah, exactly.
Hohoe United is a team that, yes, they are doing good, but their away form is bad. So Aduana, that we know for the Ghana Premier League, come to play with Hohoe United, you should be getting the 3 points.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So per the results that we have collated, let's go to the league table and see exactly what is happening. Okay, so Media on 45 because they picked up a point from the draw today. BBNE closed the gap to 3 points, so they now have 42. BBNE Gold Stars, they have 42. Accra Hearts of Oak, by drawing, have 40 points. They still maintain that 40 points. Kumasi Asante Kotoko have inched closer. They won today, so they have 38 points, and they are being hotly pursued by Aduana Football Club, also on 38. Now, Samatex have 36. Karela have 34, and it's a good result for Karela because it pushes them up. Heart of Lions, they lost at home. It wasn't a result that a lot of people may have expected. But however, they stay on the 8th position on 30 points. Vision are 9th, also on 30 points. And then Berekum United are 10th on 29 points. Baseke have 29. Nations have 28. Dreams have 27. They drew their match. Swedru All Blacks 27, Berekum Chelsea 27. And that's how it gets a lot more cagier as you go towards the bottom. Young Apostles on 26. Hohoe United, last but one, on 24 points. It's already a done deal for 11 Wonders, isn't it? And so these are the final standings per match week 23. Gentlemen, I've got 30 seconds to wrap up. I give you 10 seconds each. I'll start with you, NY. Quick.
Well, you look at the result that we've seen, other results going on for other teams, others too, not the good result that they needed, like the likes of Indiana Football Club having that draw there. And also you look at Samatex and Mediama, also they played draw, and that has given BBN Gold Stars that edge to close it up a bit. Yep. Accra Heart of Oak, they missed the chance of just getting that 3 points, but it was shared. So
it was shared. Yeah. I like that. It was shared.
Felix, Prince, I'm very happy that we are having a good title race. Yeah. I look at the table, the first 6 positions are occupied by former league champions.
Exactly.
It tells you that we are in for a while. We've been in situations like this where by March of 23 we already know the title contenders. But you look at the team that is 17th on the log. The difference between the team that is 17th and the one on the 9th position is just 4 points.
4 points.
It tells you that nobody is safe as at now. Yeah. And the destination of the title, you might get, probably to March of 30 before we know the title contenders.
That's how keen it is. Yeah. Some teams are not doing too well. Others are even not pulling up their weight. Yeah. But that is what we have. We are gradually pushing on to the very end of the season. At the moment, it is Mediama who are in the lead. I can't say a comfortable one because the gap has been narrowed to just 3 points. BBN Gold Stars did well to win their away game today, so congratulations to them. There's more excitement coming up in the Ghana Premier League, and all you need to do is to stay close to your sets. On Max TV, we bring you the excitement where it is. Thank you very much for joining us, you out there. And for the gentlemen in the studio, Felix and Nanea, thank you very much for sharing your time with us. There's more to come next week. Do stay with us and do make a date. Until then, we say bye-bye for now.